Mary at the.meri.atelier, and it is Friday evening, September the 17th, I believe. Yes, Friday evening. Oh my goodness, how the month of September is moving so fast I can hardly keep up with it. Let me go out here and welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Well, I actually do have sort of a list for night, but while I'm waiting for people to come in, I have 8 postcards here that I want to finish, and they should not take too long because this morning I made this pattern of this little owl. I had to practice my owl. Owls are the big things this month. Becky started us off on owls, and I like this one, but I don't know, it wasn't quite where I was going with it, and so I just kept working until I got my little owl. And this is a pattern. I don't have him all colored in. Here he is all colored in. So this is similar to what I'm going to put on these postcards. Now my desk is nice and messy, isn't it? And I wanted to show you, I got this at the Dollar Tree, and it says it's ribbon. It says ribbon. It's that Reuben ribbon. And I want to see how much of a ribbon it really is, if it's really thin like a toile. Let's see how much of a ribbon it is. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, I tell you, today, this morning, I heard the most distinct call. Mary, come get me. Come to the garage sale, Mary. Come get me. They're going to burn me up and throw me in the trash, and I won't survive. And I thought, well, it started raining really bad in this area this morning. Hi, Popo. Hi, Riri. Hi, Renee. Oh, it's good to see you. Hi, Riri. Did I say hi to you? It started raining really bad between 7 and 7:30. It got really rainy here. And, you know, rain and garage sales don't really mix. And I looked at the morning paper. I ran out and got the morning paper, and I looked at it after chat. And I saw only 2 garage sales that halfway interested me, and they're both tomorrow. And I don't even know if I'll go tomorrow. Whatever is calling to me is going to have to call louder. Because, you know, I have enough. I have enough. And so I stayed home today, and you know where I had breakfast. I read the paper because I had to see what was in the garage sale. There is that 350-mile garage or Nebraska junk hunt going on this weekend. But I decided well, I don't think I'm going to go because I have to drive about 70 miles to get to it. So I'm tired by the time I even get there. Oh, it is a thin. Look at that. Ooh, wouldn't that look nice collaged down on some... Dee Dee was doing black and gold, wasn't she? Dee Dee was doing black and gold. I might paint some black pages and collage this down. We might play with this. This is all gold, and this is copper and gold. This is pretty for fall. We might play with this later. I'm going to set it over on my clean desk. I tell you, I have to clean my desk off after every session here to keep it clean. And I have to show you. I think I showed them this morning in the stream this morning. I got these candles at the Dollar Tree yesterday, hoping that this candle would fit in this jar. And it looks like it will, doesn't it? Well, open up the jar and try to fit the candle in. So I'm going to need a really wide jar if I want to put my, or a really thin candle. This is caramel. I got it at the Dollar Tree. I'm not going to light it, I promise. But I was hoping to be able to, because this is a pretty jar for only $1. It's a very pretty jar. I'll put something in it. So that's sitting over here on my desk, saying, light my fire. Thank you, Janet. Aw. Hi, Brittany. Hi, Lori. Good morning. Good morning. Good evening. Good. Hi, Lori, Montana. Lori had a birthday last week, I think. Let me trace these while I'm talking to you guys and welcome you in. I want my... Look what happens here. I want my postcard to be very simple. Thank you, Janet. Aw, thank you. Mina's here. Riri's here. Violet, there's Violet. She says, I got my popcorn and I'm ready to watch. Riri says, whew, Mary's not going to like that candle. I'm so relieved. So anyway, you know what I did today? I was out in Becky's stream. We chattered and chattered and it chattered. You know, I'm going to put this. Let me cut the, I don't know where I got the bottom of this box, but it's talking about To My One Desire, the Lady and the Unicorn. One of the 6 tapestries. I think I have a tapestry book that came in this box someplace. And I'm going to pull the ends off of this box just to make more clutter. So what are we going to do tonight? Well, I'm gonna hurry and finish these postcards, or at least paint the back of them and let them dry. I did this with the Fineliner. I decided the Fineliner was the best. I'm tearing the end off of this. I decided the Fineliner was the best option. So when I paint those white lines on there, I'll have to set them aside to dry because it takes a little bit of time for Fineliner to dry because it's a thick line. To My One Desire, one of the 6 tapestries of the Lady and the Unicorn. A-L-A-I-N Erlande Brandenburg, Musée Cluny. The art of tapestry weaving dates back to ancient times. Musée Cluny in Paris, France. I think this came with a book, and I think I have it. I don't know where I put it. But anyway, I'm tearing this down a little and actually destroying the bottom of this box. And we'll save these. We'll make really nice bases for clusters. Nothing goes to waste. We'll do that later or another time. But I just want to put this on here to cover up my messy desk. It will fit right in here, I believe. I washed out, got clean paint water. But anyway, I was out in Becky's craft room. Gosh, when did I go out there? Around 11 o'clock, I believe. Maybe 10:30, I can't remember. And we chatted until, what was it, about 5:30 my time. It was about 6:30, I think, Eastern time before we finally said goodbye. Hi, Tim. Welcome, Tim. Designs by CAD Pro. Nice to see you in here. Mary, have you tried the Sharpie pens yet? Yes, I did. In fact, I was going to, let me get my journal out. Did I put that Sharpie with this? Let me go get the Sharpie pens because I really like those. Let me go get them. They're sitting right. I was talking about them in the chat room today. And they should be right out here by my desk if I'm lucky. By my chair. If I'm lucky, they're right here. Yes, they are. And is this the one? I don't know what I did with the one I was writing with, but we got 3 more, so. It's around my chair someplace. I think I might have dropped it. I'm always dropping my pins or needles or crochet hooks. All right, let me get in here. These are Sharpie S-Gel pens, and these work really nice on writing. And of course, I left the little book I was writing in. They have on here, they have the wax seal on the tip. I had a little bit of trouble getting the first one off. This one seems like it came off nice, but let's mark in this book, in this journal. And I don't know what those cost me. I tried to see, probably about $4 or $5, if not more. There are 4 of them. I don't think they cost too much. I don't think they were that they were that expensive. But what I found interesting, this says blue ink. Now, this is not a bright blue ink. It's more of a navy blue ink that almost looks black. Let me just do some marks. Let me do some marks here. And we'll just print my name. And see, it does not bleed through. You can kind of see I pressed really hard on that. You can kind of see where I wrote. But now let's try, do I have a fine point? Is this a fine point or is this a, let me find a fine point here. Of course, when I want it, well, find a fine point. I think I put them over here. Hold the phone. I got eyeglasses here. Well, fiddlesticks. Well, because I want to show you, let me pull out a new one. This is the ultra fine point Sharpie, and I know it because it's got more of a flat tip here, where these other fine points have more of a rounded end. Let me pull out this fresh, and I'll show you the difference. Now, I like these because they're a fine point and they do write pretty dark. However, where did I write on it? However, now I might be proved wrong here. See how that soaks through? This soaks through so much. And when I write a whole page, I have a whole bunch of soak through with the Pen Plus Gears. So I am very happy. Now, I think Becky found some Ink Joy and Flair, she said. But, not these. Where is it? These. These are the Sharpie medium gel pens. They're called S-Gel. And this is a 0.7. I think you can get them in different, I think you can get the finer points if you want them. But I like the medium for writing. But I was at Walmart, and my choices were limited because of I cut my journal upside down. My choices were limited because, you know, school supply season has passed, gone and come and gone. And so the shelves are getting pretty empty. See what I did this morning? I cut this stencil. I'm so proud of it. This is a stencil. I put it back in here to keep it. Right here. I cut this stencil out this morning. This is the stencil. And let me put this back. Boy, I'm hopping down the bunny trail tonight. I found some fussy cuts that I saved, and I thought it would be fun to do a stencil of this one. This came out of the National Geographic, Burning of Africa. I don't know what issue it was. I got it at the library a couple months ago. But I thought this would make a nice stencil. The lady and the little boy following her, and there's a little girl over here. It looks like another little one over here. That looks like a little girl holding up that boat. And then I cut out some birds. Here's some, yeah, it is. See, there's There's another little girl here carrying a big old basin on her head. This goes here. And even that boy, as I'm making the stencil, let's see, it goes right about here, I believe. He would make a nice stencil too. So inspired by the National Geographic. But also, talking about cutting stencils, I might as well just hop on down. Let's put these in here. Might as well hop on down the bunny trail, huh? Let's see. Let's put the stencil on here so I don't ruin the stencil. Get in there. Get in there, get in there, get in there. I showed this before with my library haul from, was it last week or the week before, this gnome book. How fun it will be to cut stencils of gnomes. How fun that will be. So, yeah, I'm going to do maybe something like this. One of these. Looks like he's got a key there. Nonverbal extrasensory perception, nonverbal communication over great distances. Oh, maybe he's divining. Weather forecasting. The sense of direction. Compasses are not used. If a gnome receives one as a gift, he generally hangs it on the living room wall. Don't give a gnome a compass. And look at how detailed that face is. Now, this talks about the physical appearance of a gnome. And I like this face so much, I might repaint my flower pot because this is a really good example. And I'm not look at these. Look at this one. I got to show it to you. You only see the head. Look at this. They're rubbing noses. Aren't they cute? They're rubbing noses. Aww. So I thought I would have fun making some gnome stencils too. But that's where I'm at on all of that. Now what? Oh, I got this out to show you the pen. Let me hop back to what I was doing. Oh, there's my pen. I might as well keep on showing you here. This afternoon when I was in Becky's, I was showing the gals this book that I got at Walmart. And what I like about it, it's called the Mindfulness Journal. Now, buy it retail, it's $14, $13.99. But Becky looked it up on the internet, and I'm not sure where she was looking. She can tell you. She didn't find the current issue, but she found back issues for $4.99. And what I like about this particular one, this is the first time I bought this, so reminds me of Barb Owen. Because Barb is always showing that Breathe magazine, which I like too. This is similar to the Breathe magazine. I'm not sure if they're associated. But what I like about it, now this one is all about being mindful. And I'll just, the meditative brain dump, lessons from the paddleboard. There was one that, what article was that? Not Aunt Beck, but Ann Lar said something to the effect that, what did she say? She wasn't that good, and then she added the word yet. She said, I'm not that good yet. And earlier today, I read about that in this magazine. And I hunted and hunted and hunted, and it's the language of optimism. And it was so interesting that Anne talked about adding the word yet to a negative. Like I could say, I can't draw photorealistically yet. So it's adding that I'm on my way. Just hold your horses. I'll get there someday. Well, let's put it this way. I haven't sent out all my happy mail yet. I worked on my addressing postcards today. I got 38 of them self-addressed and signed. Now I have to go back in and decide who I'm going to send to, and then I'll have 8 more. So at least, I'll get 3 of them. So at least 40 or 43 of you are going to get postcards to me sometime in the near future. But here's out of the Mindfulness Journal. This is what I read this morning before I even went into the chat room. It says, include the word yet. For example, instead of, I cannot solve this problem, say, I cannot solve this problem yet. Says John Lee, PhD, a clinical psychologist at the Executive Mental Health in Los Angeles. Yet leaves room for growth and permission to try and improve. But anyway, it's got all sorts of articles in there. Then it goes into journaling. Well, there's an article, Doodle School. And it talks about doodling and how you can be, it says, but how do you draw your way to a more mindful life? And then it goes through different techniques of doodling, which we probably know. But the last half of this magazine, from page 60 to a page 113, which is probably 113, is sort of like Bella Grace magazines, prompts, writing prompts, and then they get into drawing prompts, mindful drawings. Draw yourself enjoying this year's fall foliage. And there's a really good article in here. I'm just going to share it. I'm not going to read it. But there's a really good article in here that I want to share. Let me get to it. I think it's right toward the front because it's talking about fall. Take in an awe, A-W-E, awe, walk. And it's talking about while walking is often an effective way to sort out our thoughts and find solutions to problems, awe, like I'm in awe walks, are just the opposite. You're not thinking about the bills you have to pay or the project that's due or what groceries you need for dinner. You're looking outside yourself, specifically for something that moves your spirit. And then it tells you, it's kind of like going on a nature walk and really recognizing nature instead of trying to sort out your mind. So, even though walking is good for sorting things out and getting inspiration and just stilling your mind, this is talking about being in awe of the world around you. And I had written in response to one of the prompts here about, I guess I can read this. Now, take in mind, this is me. This is Mary talking. This isn't anybody else but me. It says, what is something that recently caught your attention that made you realize how fortunate you are? And this is the truth. I went shopping yesterday. I went shopping and I didn't get home till late. Late being around 6 o'clock in the evening. I'm usually home way before that. But it says, something you realized how fortunate you are. And I wrote, yesterday I was driving home from a shopping trip. I often sing when I'm alone because, if I sing off key, it doesn't bother anybody but me. I often sing when I'm alone in the car. And yesterday, this little verse came to me. And it's based on that parable in the Bible. And I know this is Mary talking here. I'm not preaching at you. I'm just telling you something I'm sharing. I said, Lord, let me be the one who turns back to say thank you for this day. Let me be the one to pray. Thank you. Let me be the one to turn around and thank you. And that's turning around. Sometimes we rush through life. And we're thankful. I don't think that if you approached any one of those 9 people and said, hey, are you really grateful for what that guy did for you? He healed in the Bible. There's the parable where Jesus told where he healed 10 people and only one of them turned around to say thank you. And I'm going, let that one person be me in real life. Now, I'm sure that there are a lot of people besides me who say thank you. But this is me wanting to be grateful, realizing how fortunate I am. It's so easy to dwell on, oh, I don't have my job anymore. I'm not bringing in the income. I have to be, I'm the reluctant retiree. Boo-hoo this and boo-hoo that. You know, it's so easy to think negative. But that's kind of what I like about this. This was all about expressing things. And there's the other things like anticipating. I'll have to read the one that made me laugh. And I won't read all of the things that made me laugh, but I'll read the last one because these gals helped me realize this was about joy, but they wanted you to list 5 things that made you smile today. And I did that, you know, and it said, did somebody make you laugh today? And, or did you laugh today? And yeah, I did. I got through all of those. I shared all my things that made me giggle today. And then the last one, it says, what act of silliness did you commit? And I'm sitting there going, I don't commit silly. What do you mean, what act of silly did I commit? I really had a hard time with that. And I told the gals in the chat room, I said, I just bitched all day about things. Oh, and Ann kind of helped me interpret that. Ann Lahr, she says, Meri, you bitched all day about things you have no control over. Now that is pretty silly. And so that, you know, that really opened my eyes. I said, yeah, it really is pretty silly to sit there and bitch over things that you don't have any control over. I don't have any control over the weather. It rained today. I was kind of wanting to go to a garage sale, but I didn't bitch about it. I stayed home and had some breakfast and read the paper and went into the chat room. So this is a good magazine if you're so inclined to do this sort of thing. The other magazine I want to share with you, and I don't know if I shared this one with the gals in the chat room. I talked about it. What Women Create. Now look, there's chickens in here. These are homemade chickens. Chickens are not my thing, but evidently they're this artist's thing. Chicken dolls. Chicken dolls with gold feet. But this is really a fun magazine because what I like about it, it focuses on the artist and their art. It really doesn't give you a project to do, but they go into very, very detailed, not instructions, but thoughts about their art and how they approach it. I really do enjoy reading this. I do not buy it all the time. I think I bought last month's issue, but I bought it because I went to Walmart, and this is one of the things I was bitching about today. Walmart is probably about the best place that I have to buy magazines because there's no good bookstore around here. And I was saying, they have 20 issues of quilting, 40 issues, now I'm exaggerating, of outdoor sports and deer hunting and, you know, all that stuff. They have all these crossword puzzle books, which I really don't mind the crossword puzzle books. They do have home decor, but what kind of art magazines do they have? I was looking for the Just Cross Stitch Ornament issue, and the only 2 magazines that I found currently on the shelves were this one, What Women Create, and this other one on mindfulness, which really isn't art. It's more of a mental magazine, mindfulness. But they also have Where Women Create. But I was saying, and kind of venting again, is I love to see Where Women Create, but I see all these wonderful studios that I can't be in. And so, you know, I'd rather focus on my little room here so I don't spend $15 for a Where Women Create, but I will fork out $15. I think this one was actually $16.99, which is $17 for this one. Look, she's got her wall lined with old suitcases, literally lined with them. I wonder what's in them. Sharon Payne Bolton. She does a lot of photography. She got this little dog, and she writes her story based on the dog's perspective. I was told my parents met on a bike path near Ketchum, Idaho about 2 years ago. My mom is a poodle chihuahua, and my dad is a Yorkie Maltese, making me the official Poochie Yorkies. And that is when she had my 3 siblings and me. Cute little dog, you know, and she look at that wall of suitcases. Now, as much as I admire that, I don't know if I would want it in my room, because I would be wanting to unbuckle those and put stuff in them, and then I'd have to list what was in each one. And then when I wanted it, I'd have to have a ladder to get this one way up here or that one there. Or I might want this one way on the bottom and have to take all those off to get to that one. So while it's fun, it's good. It would make good wallpaper. And this one is all about, there's one in here, let me show it to you. You guys will be interested in this. There's one in here about slow stitching. There's one in here about doll making too, but we'll go past that. Where's the slow stitch? Here. She's all about fabric. Kristen McClarty. She's an artist, but see, here's some of her slow stitching here. Right here. And as I was looking at this, you think, oh, it reminds me of sashiko stitching. But if you actually look at this and study it, it's got areas of gray here and here. It's got a green ribbon there and kind of taupe ribbons going this way. But if you look in this area here, unless she hand-dyed that after she stitched it, this thread, sashiko thread, is a different color than this, which is a different color than this. And so she's this is more light down here. So she might have stitched it all the same, I'm thinking, and maybe dyed the threads. And if you study these in here, if you really get up and look at it with your nose up to it, you can see the stitches running this way are white in this circle, but across this ribbon are some brown taupe colored stitches. And here they're green colored to match the background of the ribbon going across. So this is all about her slow stitching. There's some more in here. There's also, she does printing too. Here's some of her slow stitching here. And she talks about the evening she likes to sit down and stitch. Now, what makes me think that she dyed these? Well, maybe not. Well, yeah, maybe. No, these are still, she hasn't, yeah, she did stitch this area. This area is a different color than that area. So this is still the same as this. But it's very interesting to study her in just the little glimpses you have of her slow stitching. Look at that. Isn't that fabulous? Just old pieces of fabric. Cool fabrics. I'm not sure what that is. This is a guy. This is another article. So I did buy this, and I enjoy reading about other artists and their perspectives. I enjoy reading this. I enjoy getting to know them. And maybe one or two of them might be well known in the art world, but most of them probably are not that. It isn't like they're Pablo Picasso or anything. This lady developed her skills. Her dad and her brother were talented artists. And she talks about, she had a twin brother, and they would both paint and everything. And she talked about he passed away and how lonely it was for her to do her art. And she says, as any artist knows, it's not all blissful rainbows and puffy clouds all the time. Being an artist is really painful sometimes. The thing that saved me in my youth was giving me some of the big wounds. But she developed a stationary card business, and this talks about her. And she's got a cat here. This is her cat. And this really impressed me is she says, some people love and play off of chaos, but I need my environment to be in order and beautiful, or I'll get distracted and derailed. And I kind of think that that's where we come to a certain point where we have to do our studio cleanups. We have order until it becomes so chaotic that we can't take it anymore. And then we've got to clean up, and we get distracted and derailed. This is what I'm doing right now. So let me finish welcoming people in here. Hi, Sharon Lombard. Let me go to the bottom and work up. Tim say, it's good you didn't say go. You said Picasso. Van Gogh is his hero. Van Gogh is Tim. Oh, that's nice to know about you, Tim. We know who Tim's art hero is. It's Van Gogh. Don't cut off your ear, Tim. Yeah, we're not Picassos. And I don't think many of those ladies in those magazines, when they feature them, I mean, they're artists, but we get to know them through the magazine articles. It isn't like we can open up a art history book and read about them. They aren't that famous. They might be someday, but hi, Lori Pink Girly. Hi, Sharon Lombard. Welcome. Hi, Gail. Good to see you, Gail Donofrio. I'm probably butchering her last name. Renee is here. Janet Baum is here. Allie K. Hi, Allie K. Welcome, welcome. Gail says, hi, Mary. So nice to see you. Hi, friends. How nice to be with you all tonight. Well, it's nice you dropped in. Lori is here. Sharon Lombard, Allie K. Lori Loves Montana. Both Loris are here. Lori Montana and Lori Pink Girly. And Lori Montana says, call me Montana. And she calls Pink Girly Light Bulb. Lori Light Bulb. I think that's so cute. Barbara Batzer. Hi. It's good to see you in here, Barbara. Welcome, welcome. For the longest time, I thought Barbara Batzer was in the UK. But she's not. I might have had her mixed up with Barbara Chicken Pot Pie Society, who's in Canada. But when I get to know, until I get to know you, I get you all mixed up. There's Leon. Hi, Leon. Michelle Noel. Noel spelled backwards is Leon. And Keisha at Keisha's Creation started calling Michelle Noel Leon. So I think that's pretty fabulous. So she got me calling her Leon. Mina's here. Hi, Mina. Ray D. Hi, Ray. Riri. Aunt Becca's here. Oh, Aunt Becca's on the phone with her sister. Ruth Lamb. Hi, Ruth. Welcome, welcome, Ruth, if you're out there. Mary Lou, Aunt Loopy. Mary Lou was in our group for a while, trying to get a word in edgewise between Anlar, Mary Abrams, Violet. Mary Lou tries to get a word in. And we're just yapping, just like a bunch of old ladies. Becky is sitting there. I need a cat break. Oh, I left little Bernadette outside. She's got to go run and get little Bernadette. So cute. Thank you, Riri. That stencil was really fun to do. Thank you, guys. There's Barbara Clark way back there, if you're listening out there, Barbara. And there was Tanya McGuire. Hi, Tanya, if you happen to be lurking. Tanya works on Friday nights. She sells beads. So I'm not exactly sure what she does, but I know Friday nights are work nights for her sometimes. So she comes in and says hello, which is nice. I appreciate that. Barbara Clark is here. Mina, Janet, Allie K. I'm just scrolling up as far as I can. Angie. There's Angie. Hi, Angie. I'm just saying hello to Teresa Spitfire. Sherry Van. Hi, Sherry Van. It's good to see you. Renee Redwagon. Lori, Angie. And I'm back to where Renee asked me if I tried the Sharpie pens yet. Well, you know what? I did all that talking, and I want to move on from doing my owls. Because I do want to get something done here tonight that I really do. I'll come back to my owls. I'll leave them right there. Ann Lar said, Mary, because we were talking about the owl. We were talking about how Aunt Beck got us started on owls. I think, weren't you doing an owl? Oh, I know. Ann, I don't know if you were working on an owl or planning to, but Ann was working on paper doll with African dress, doing a fabric pattern. Very cool, Ann. Let me move Penelope. I want to get, oh, this isn't the book I want to work in. I want to work in my Society of Idea Collector. we got up on the subject of fall. So Anne says, Mary, you should do a FIBSville fall list, meaning FIBSville in autumn in FIBSville. And I said, I will if Becky does some fall doodles in her next stream. So I don't know if she's going to, but we are going to do a fall in FIBSville list. Oh, and I'm going to take out of that magazine where I have all those writing prompts, I'm going to tear that last half of that magazine out and put it in my September journal. So I'll have it in there. But we're going to do a list tonight because we've got 39 people in here. That's a good, and I like to interact with you guys when we do this list. This is my chance to actually talk to you, with you instead of to you. So I'm just going to write fall in FIBSville, fall meaning the autumn time of year, the months of September, October, November, and it's going to be fall in FIBSville. Now, what we're going to do here, thank you, Janet, fall in FIBSville. What we're going to do here is make a list of things we see around FIBSville. Now, you're going to have to use your imagination. Just imagine you were walking around FIBSville in the months of September, October, November, fall. What did you see? And I'm going to make a list. And then from that list, after we get it done, Mary's going to do a random org, and I'm going to try to sketch whatever random org picks off of our list. Now, I don't know if I'll be successful, but I'm going to try it. And I'd love to do it as a giveaway, but I'm so afraid I won't give it given away. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how the sketch goes. I'll see how I feel when I get there. So if you're walking around FIBSville in the fall, what do you see around FIBSville? So anytime you want to start telling me, I'll start writing them down. Falling dry leaves. And I'm going to print these on here because I want to keep these listed. And this is my Society of Idea Collector journal. Falling dry leaves. And just leaves. I'm just going to write down whatever you guys tell me. If there's repeats, it'll be a repeat. Pumpkins at the base of every lamppost. Ooh, I like that. When I lived in Wisconsin, we had a suburb called Middleton. Violet knows about that. But if you would go to their shopping center, boy, I sure hope that stayed in business. The business is the shopping center in Grand Island, where I go up to Hobby Lobby, the mall area. They had a Dillard's. They had a J.C. Penney. I think they had a Neiman Marcus. All those stores went out of business. So sad. But anyway, up in Wisconsin, you would go into this shopping center. I really liked that area. And I probably have some sketches of it up in Wisconsin. But they would arrange all these pumpkins like a tree in the big roundabout circles. Really cool. Pumpkins at the base of every lamppost. At base of every, just keep coming and I'll catch up with you when I get there. Lamppost. And we'll stop when you guys stop. Let's see, what else? Acorns. Sharon Larbart said acorns. Acorns. Hi, Darla. Welcome, Darla. Oh, Angie, that's okay. If you have to take kids home, we completely understand. Apple orchard with trees of delicious fruit. I bought 4 apples. I want to make some of those. I was saying an apple cobbler, but I think it's more of an apple hand pie, where, you make the filling and, you roll out your dough into a circle, and then you put your filling in there and fold them over. Bake Like a Pro. Bake Like a Pro had a video on it. Apple. Oh, dear. Apple, what did I say? Apple, or let's follow you see, acorns falling leaves. Apple orchard with trees full of delicious fruit. Apple orchard with trees. You just keep them coming, and I'll catch up with you eventually. With trees, because I'm trying to write so that I can read it tomorrow. Full of delicious fruit. Yummy. I have to tell you, I did take time and make ice cream today. I've gotten so I make our ice cream, and my brother does like it. He said he wanted vanilla. I asked him what kind. I said, should I get some more dried, or those, I made those dark cherry ones, and he liked it. And I said, but they're kind of expensive, even frozen, they're kind of expensive. And he says, no, just make vanilla. Well, I went into the freezer and I was bumming around in the freezer to see what can I mix in here. And I found I had one time had gotten chocolate chips with espresso in it. Espresso chocolate chips. I think I wanted to put them in cookies or something. And so I chopped them up in my little magic bullet thing, and it chopped it up like a powder. Well, there were some chips left, but it mainly made a chocolate powder. And I mixed that in that ice cream, and I like it. But he came home, and I said, there's ice cream in there if you want it. And he said, yeah, I saw you made it. And he said, what flavor is it? He wanted to know what flavor. I said, it's chocolate espresso. He didn't say anything. He does not like anything gourmet. He doesn't like if I wanted to put, fancy up the salmon with lemon butter and whatnot, or cook a roast and put all potatoes and fancy it up with vegetables. And he cooks a roast, puts it in a crock pot, doesn't even salt and pepper it, and just lets it cook all day. Well, there's no, there's flavor to it, but anything gourmet is too fancy for him. So I think I'm going to make vanilla tomorrow. I'll eat the chocolate espresso. Crab apples. Yeah, I was telling all sorts of stories about my brother in the chat today. Oh, and Anne, if you're out there listening, Anne says, I can't wait. My brother, I'll tell you guys this story. My brother, as a result of going to the VA, they found a cataract in his eye. And so they're going to set him up for an appointment to have that cataract removed, which is not a big deal. I mean, cataracts are removed every day. It's not a big deal. But they were supposed to call him back to schedule it. Well, they did call back, and he missed the calls. So I went shopping yesterday, and he was going to call him. And I got home, and I said, did you call him? And he said, yeah. He says, I called him 6 or 7 times, and they never returned my call. And I said, well, did you have the right number? I had the right number. Are you sure? I had the right number. Okay. Well, today he went fishing, so he wasn't at home, and I was in the chat room with the gals, and I saw they try to call me first because I'm kind of secondary on the list. They have my phone number, and I didn't catch it enough on my phone, so then I heard the landline ring, and I knew it was them, so I had to get up and answer it. And the first thing she said, I said, he tried to call you back, and she said, he called the wrong number 6 times. I laughed. It was somebody come out. Anne said Mary's going to really rib him about that wrong number. And I did, but I think he was so tired, it just went over his head. I showed him the right number. He had 1 digit off. I think he had a 5 instead of a 6 on the last 4 numbers. And it was so funny because I was trying to rib him about having to call 6 times, and they never called back. So I get a lot of giggles out of my brother. Crab apples, let's see. Pumpkins at the base of every lamppost. I got that. Red ripe apples on trees. I got that, don't I? I got apple orchards. Let's put red ripe apples. I'm just going to go at my own pace here. And I'm trying to print decent so I can read it tomorrow. Red ripe apples on trees. Fall decorated shop windows. Yes, Violet. All the fall decorations in the shops. It's so fun to see the window display. Fall decorated shop windows. How many Halloween displays do you see around? Yeah, you see Halloween all over the place. You started seeing it in September. Windows. Pumpkins sitting on haystacks. There's a picture for you. Pumpkins sitting on haystacks. Boy, FIBSville is in the fall spirit, aren't they? Now remember, FIBSville is a small town. I want to say small city, but it's not really a city. Small town in a big park. That's FIBSville's motto. We're a small town in a big park. Cornucopia, that's a good one. Cornucopia. Watch CORUCOOPIA. Watch Random Word picks that one. I can't even spell it. IA. People. Angie says, I see people running around FIBSville. Pumpkins on the vine. How about gourds? Do you see any gourds? You see lots of winter squash and acorn squash. Autumn wreaths on storefront doors. Autumn wreaths. On storefront doors. Boy, I'm warm. I thought I was going to be able to be cool in here without turning on the fan. I was wrong. Storefront doors. I got the front door open, but it doesn't seem to be helping. Hi, Darla. Welcome, Darla. Hi, Carlana. There's Carlana. I haven't seen you in a long time. Welcome, welcome if you're still out there by the time I got to your scarecrow. Scarecrows, that's a good one. Scarecrows, I'd like to do some of those tonight. That would be fun to sketch. Geese, yes, Mina. Geese in V formation. We saw some of those up in Grand Island yesterday, and when we went, or the other day when we went to the VA, and I pointed it out to my brother, and he said, yep, they kind of live up here all the time. Formations. Overhead, we see those. Ducks, too. That's when you know fall is on the way, when you start seeing those geese and ducks flying over. Hi, Teresa. Grass turning from green to gold. Grass turning from green to gold. I'm slow, but I can read my list. From green to gold. And let's turn this page over and see how the back of it is doing with my Sharpie pen. Yeah, see, it's not coming through at all. I'm really happy with these. I'm going to go buy me some more. Have them on hand before. If I say I'm happy with them, they'll take them off the shelf. Haystack. You know what we see around here? Because we're in a rural area. We see the farmers. I'm going to write this down. The farmers are starting to cut the corn. Starting to cut corn. In our little town here, they have, well, not in our little town we have it, but also up around Hastings, which is where we go grocery shopping. They have this soybean ethanol plant. And I think they also burn corn. I'm not sure. But in our little town, they've got this great big cement area where they'll store all this harvested corn, and then they'll cover it with tarps over the winter. And then around in August and September, you'll see all these big semis driving in that area, and they load it up with the big cranes. And I imagine they take it off to the ethanol plant. I think that they use it for ethanol. So farmers starting to cut Harvard. I was talking about Harvard. Cut the corn. And you see a lot of trucks, grain trucks on the highway. This is kind of in our area. You see a lot of, they're actually semi-trucks now. You used to see farm trucks, but I'm going to put grain trucks on the highway. You start to see a lot of that in the fall, harvesting. Trees, Angie says trees, and I think she means trees turning, I'm going to put turning color for you, Angie. Trees turning colors. Yeah, we have lots of trees in FIBSville. Hay rides. Yeah, bonfires, 24, 25, 6, 27, 28. Doesn't this all remind you of fall? How about candles? Candles. Candles in the window. Fall candles, you know, like what I showed you. I see candles. Personally, home decor. You tend to see those more than you do in the summer. You see them in the fall and the winter. Indian corn. Yeah, Indian corn. Lamp post flags that say autumn. Lamp post flags that say autumn. They usually put out by the community to boost the community spirit. That was Lori Pink Girly. Scarecrows. Scarecrows. Auntie Loopy says we had that before, but we're going to put it again. Maybe random will pick it. People beginning to wear beautiful sweaters. People, yeah, you begin seeing, it's a little chilly out here. And, you know, rather than putting on a big winter coat yet, you just plop on that sweater. How about ugly sweaters? Oh, I guess that's for Christmas. Oh. Dogs with sweaters on. Dogs with sweaters on. Because they get cold too. Especially the ones that don't have much fur. Pumpkin pies cooling on the windowsill. Well, we can't open the windows still because we got storm windows, but but that's kind of what you think of, isn't it? In FIBSville, we open our windows and we put pumpkin pies cooling on the windowsills. Now, did they really do that in the old days? I would want to put a plate over it or something to keep the flies off of it. We never did that. My mom never did that. Maybe they tended to do that more in town. I don't know. Got scarecrows again. Apple dumplings. Apple dumplings. That sounds good. Somebody's cooking apple dumplings in FIBSville. Bushel baskets filled with red and golden delicious apples. Bushel baskets. Filled with red and golden delicious apples. Yummy. Ravens. Sharon says ravens. FIBSville has ravens. Gonna have to go look up a picture of a raven. Pumpkin and apple pies cooling on the windowsill with gingham curtains. Oh, I'm gonna mix that. I'm gonna put window with gingham curtains here. With gingham, because I don't want to write it all out again. Curtains. All right, got to get the gingham curtains in there, huh, Teresa? Corn or hay bale maze, like a corn maze, like it's a puzzle, find your way through the maze. Corn or hay bale maze. A path, you know, a puzzle path you have to find your way out of. Mina says, lattice pies, fresh from the oven. So, okay, the other was pumpkin pies. These are lattice pies. Typically apple or cherry, could be peach. Lattice pies. You guys put all your pies on the windowsill. Oh dear. Windowsill. In FIBSville, if you want a pie, you might go sniffing around some windows. All right, that was number 35. We're ready for 36. I'm going to number here. You guys have to be patient with me. Just keep them coming if you can think of them. Things that you've seen around FIBSville in the fall. Now remember, this is FIBSville. Takes me a long time to number these, huh? We're on 65, 66, 69, 70. All right. Corner hay bale maze, lattice pies, crows. We had crows. I'll put it in there again. Maybe it'll hit one or the other. Kids eating caramel apples. Kids eating caramel apples. That's a nice fall picture. Yummy, yummy. Old houses. Old houses. Autumn Festival banner. Autumn Festival banner. Last year, in our time for art in October, we had an Oktoberfest. We're not going to do that this year. I got to get the playlist out there this weekend of what we're going to do, and I'll talk about it. Maybe I'll get it done tomorrow. I probably won't go anyplace tomorrow, so. Let's see. Sun tea sitting on the front porch. Yeah, you're enjoying. It's been hot all summer, so you got to go out and enjoy some sun tea sitting on the front porch, the cool days of autumn when you can just sit out there and enjoy the color in your yard. Sun tea sitting on front porch. Herbs tied in clumps and hung upside down. And hung upside down, upside down. This is not a typewriter. This is me writing it. To dry on porches. That's an interesting picture, isn't it? That reminds me of fall. Mary Lou said he's a food purist. She's talking about my brother, just like in vanilla ice cream. I was saying that my brother doesn't like all this fancy dancy stuff. He doesn't think that He doesn't think that he's good enough to eat the fancy stuff, I think. Just make it plain vanilla. He did like the black cherries in his ice cream, though. He did like that, but he said I had too many nuts in it. I said, spit them out. Pumpkin pies on windows. Well, we'll put that in there again. You guys are stuck on the pies in the window. Pumpkin pies in window. You guys like to put pies in the windows in FIBSville. Boy, I'm going to go for a walk down the back alley, see what I can eat. Janet said, be right back. She's got to pick up her son. She's probably back by now. Pumpkin patch. A pumpkin patch in FIBSville. Pumpkin patch, that would be fun. Corns, Indian corn, we had that, but I'm going to put it in again. Who knows? We might hit it again. I'm going to ask FIBSville, I'm going to ask Random.org to give me one I'm going to sketch. Indian corn. Corn stalks. Corn stalks is a good one. You know, after they're all dry and everything. Mums. Absolutely mums. Mums are the fall flower. Mailboxes decorated with fall flowers. Yeah, decorated mailboxes. You see a lot of those, especially in the country. You see decorating. And we got, this is really funny, because you drive out of Harvard and you go about, maybe 2 miles to get to the highway. I mean, it's a country highway, but to get to the main highway, you go about 2 miles. And you pass this farm, has a really long driveway. But at the end of it, they must have some teenager kids, because they got this old pickup sitting out in the field. And I swear, they're not scarecrows, but they're stuffed figures. And they almost look like humans every year. And this year they must be having a tailgate party in that pickup. And they've even got one driving in the center, and he's looking out toward the back. And there's a couple of human figures. You almost feel like there's a human, because you're looking at it from a distance. You just see it looks like people in the back of that pickup, and they're having a picnic. It's really fun. And what else did they do? They did something else last year that, they had the hood. They had the two men looking in the hood of the car. You know, they had the hood up of the pickup. They had the hood facing the pickup front facing the highway or the road. And they had those two men with their back ends, and all you saw were their back ends, and their, their head and shoulders they were working on the engine of that pickup. And they were just stuffed, just clothing, Mailbox decorated with fall flowers. But this year they have a football. It looks like they got a football. I think Nebraska lost their football game. Gourds. Yeah, gourds. You see a lot of gourds. Wreaths. Wreaths decorated with fall colors. Fall flags, similar to those street flags that Lori mentioned earlier. Farmers' trucks hauling soybeans and pumpkins. Of course, Violet. Farmers' trucks. Hauling. You got to be careful around here, though, because those semi-trucks, I don't know, they go pretty fast. One of them was on my tail the other day. I just let him be on my tail. I thought, if you're crazy enough to go around me, you're going to create an accident, and it probably wouldn't kill the people that were coming, but I would be a testament against you. Fall welcome mats. He was on my tail. Big old semi-truck. Couldn't obey the speed limit of 65 miles an hour. I was going 65. I had it on cruise. Hi, Brenda D. Carlana says she's still here. Paint Girlie says, Wesley walking his pet turkey. I don't know who Wesley is, but he's walking his pet turkey down FIBSville, someplace all around FIBSville, I think. Walking, that would make a cute picture, wouldn't it? You're going to have to tell me who Wesley is. Wesley walking his pet turkey. How about Bugs? Bugs trying to get in for the winter. His pet turkey. We do have this. I have the front door open, but the screen is. Mina says, fields of golden stubble. Fields of gold. And I usually scribble this, but I'm taking time to print this out so I can read it tomorrow. Stubble with sheaves of straw propped up in them. With sheaves of straw propped up, waiting to be gathered. Somebody look up for me the famous artist who painted The Gatherers. It's one of my favorite paintings, and I cannot remember who painted it. It's of two peasant ladies bringing in the sheaves, gathering the leftovers. I know it's a famous artist. It's done all in sepia tones. I can shut my eyes and see the painting, but I cannot remember who painted it. I'll get down to it when you find it. Jugs of apple cider for sale. That's a good one. Of apple cider for sale. Cider. Bales of hay. We've got a lot of hay bales in FIBSville. There must be some farmland somewhere around here. Popcorn stand. I can smell it. Popcorn stand. Hot chocolate drinks. Yes, hot chocolate and mugs. Hot chocolate drinks. That's a favorite fall. We always had bonfires, roasting hot dogs over the fire. Our high school, a small high school, would sponsor a bonfire every year. Children wearing knit hats and mittens as they walk to school on nippy mornings. So that's probably late November, early December. Children wearing knit hats and mittens as they walk to school. As they walk to school, we get kids walking by school because we live straight down the road there, about 3 blocks is the school. And yeah, we get a lot of kids walking by. And usually nowadays, especially when they're coming home, if I'm sitting out on the front porch, and they'll have their phones and their earbuds on, as they walk to school on nippy mornings. And one morning, that's nippy, not hippie, nippy mornings. One morning last year or the year before, I looked out the window and I was watching the kids walk to school. And I looked at this one kid and I'm going, that guy, he's not wearing a winter coat. He's wearing his bathrobe. I don't know if he had pajamas on or what. He probably, put his bathrobe over his school clothes. But he was wearing his bathrobe. It was kind of strange, to tell you the truth, but it was kind of funny in a way. He was wearing his bathrobe. Kids can be so unexpectedly creative. Scarves, knit scarves. You start to see those come out. Pumpkin spice tea. How about that pumpkin spice that they do at McDonald's? I never buy it, but what is that? They have that special pumpkin spice drink that they have, whatever it is. I don't think it's tea. It's some sort of an ice cream drink, I think. Spiced pumpkin latte. Spiced pumpkin latte. Piles of leaves. Old-fashioned baked apples in the oven. Old-fashioned. I can just see that in my mind. Open the oven door and there's all these yummy baked apples. Old-fashioned baked with brown sugar and butter. Marshmallow. Apples in the oven. Angie says, I don't think so. They eat them when they come out of the oven. I would want to eat the pie hot. Mina said, green and red plastic fabric showing up in stores. Yeah, Christmas is coming. So you start to see green and red fabric, and I started to see that when I was in Walmart and Hobby Lobby. Fabric and showing up in clothes and ribbons and decorations, and showing up in clothes, ribbons, and decorations. Clothes, ribbons. Too bad I can't just speak to my paper and the words would magically appear. Well, what fun would that be if you didn't handwrite it? Your brain processes this all as you write it down. Quilts on clotheslines. What a wonderful picture. Quilts on clotheslines. That just reminds you of fall, doesn't it? Mary Lou says, I'm with you, Angie. Mine are not in the window. I'm eating my apple pie with a scoop of ice cream. I do make my brother wait till the pie cools off, and the cookies. I'll bake them, and he likes them warm. He likes them hot. But I say, I have to have, when I pull the cookies out of the oven, they have to cool for a few minutes just to get them off the cookie tray. If you try to move those hot cookies off the tray right after you pull them out of the oven, they're still sticky. And if you let them cool for about 3 minutes, you can get your spatula under there. And I said, just wait 3 minutes. Wait 3 minutes. And after I crabbed enough, he does now. And they're still warm. If it, I say, okay, you can come and get them now. Raisin cookies. He loves raisin. He does like raisins in his cookies. Quilts on clotheslines was my last one. Horse and buggies. Let's see. Green and red. Horse and buggies. I missed that one. Horse and buggies. And buggies. Not baggies. Buggies. Like a buggy. A little cart, a buggy. Allie K says, stray dog or cat with red stains on the face. He ate a pie from someone's windowsill. Stray dog or cat. I'm writing it down, Allie. Who ate pies on the windowsill and has pie on his face. And has pie all over his face. That old saying, pie on your face. You can tell if somebody has pie on their face, it means they're telling a little lie. They're not completely telling the truth if you see somebody with pie on their face. Because they're usually denying that they ate the pie, but it's smeared all over their face. Carved pumpkin entries for contest. Carved pumpkins. Yeah, you see those at the grocery store, and you also see all those coloring pages on the windows. Carved pumpkin contest entries. I'm just going to put contest entries. And I'm going to put grocery store window with coloring book, pumpkin coloring book. Grocery store window with children's colored pumpkins, coloring pumpkin pages, coloring pages of fall, pages of pumpkins. That's mine. That's what that reminded me of, was the carved pumpkin contest. All right, we're ready for 72. Are you guys still going out there? Let me number. We'll number to 100, and we'll see if we get that far. And if we don't get that far, that's completely okay. We'll stop when you guys are done. All right. Quotes on clotheslines. That's a repeat, but I'm going to put it on there. Maybe if it doesn't pick it on one number, it'll pick it on the other. Let's see. Beards. Beards. Guys' faces get cold, you know. Well, I started noticing on men. I started noticing a lot of beards during COVID because the barbers wouldn't shave the faces with the COVID going around. And my brother went and got, this was before it got so bad in our area, he went and got a haircut and his beard trimmed, and he looked so good. I said, you really look good. That barber did a really good job, trimmed him up real nice. And now he's all bushy again. But, you know, my brother would look really cool. He almost looked like an author, you know, with his beard trimmed nice and everything. He really looked, he really, the guy did a good job on him. I told him, I said, I really like it. And I did. I really liked it. He really looked good. And now it's all bushy, and he looks more like a scarecrow. It's all bushy again. And he says that sometimes he'll get out the scissors and cut a couple of the longer pieces that are of his beard that are bothering him. But, you know, the barbers don't like to trim the beards. Well, there was one point there, maybe late August, mid-August, where he probably could have had it done. But now with this variant so bad and all the hospitals filling up again, the barbers are probably starting to slow down on, you know, cutting beards again because, you know, that's around the mouth area. I don't know. Janet said she's back. She's still writing on the list. Yeah, Janet, I thought you'd be back before. Gnomes. Janet said, Violet said, gnomes. Sure, gnomes have beards. Violet said, I've seen them. It's true. I've seen them. Mina says, FIBSville citizens have tender hearts. The FIBSville troll. Okay, let's put this. The FIBSville troll for Mina. This might be a new character. The FIBSville troll. The FIBSville troll, a short little fellow who likes to nap in the laundromat. Did we talk about him before, Nina? You have such a good memory on these characters. A short little fellow who likes to nap in the laundromat. To nap in the laundromat. Mina, were you here that night that I talked about the history of the FIBSville bed and breakfast? I think you were tired that night. Washing machine when it gets cold. So he likes to nap in the FIBSville laundromat washing machine when it's not in use. She said when it gets cold. Oh, when the weather's cold? When it gets cold. So be careful. Pinch us an occasional pie while folk deliberately look the other way. Pinches, let me finish writing this. Pinches the occasional pie. You mean he puts his finger in like in the, I put my thumb in the plum and put my thumb in the pie and pulled out a plum. Occasional pie while folk deliberately look away. We'll review the FIBSville bed and breakfast history. I think Mina went to bed. I don't know if she heard it though. Let's see, I put look away here. All right, we're ready for 76. Sunflower bouquets. Sunflower bouquets, yeah. You see a lot of sunflower in the fall. Now we got sunflowers in our backyard, but they pretty much have been, they're drying up. Bouquets. And our peonies are ready to be chopped down. Santa peeking around a lamppost. Santa peeking around the lamppost? Is he getting ready to check who's been naughty or nice? So he's hiding around lampposts spying on kids? In FIBSville? We're going to have to, very discreetly, so I don't get a COPPA violation, talk about, we're going to have a couple kids in FIBSville. We can't have a town with no kids. That would just be horrible. But I don't know how to do that without it possibly being flagged as a child video. I don't know. We'll have to think about that. 78. Pomegranate. Oh, she's talking, Lori. I just about wrote down pomegranates, Lori. She's talking to Janet. Mom come back in. She says, welcome back, pomegranate. She calls Janet pomegranate. Leather breeches hanging in the windows. Leather breeches? Who did those belong to? Leather breeches? Who did the leather breeches hanging in the window belong to? Sound like cowboy chaps. I'm going to write them down. Teresa said candy corn. Yeah, you see a lot of candy corn. Halloween candy. Candy corn. Warm hand knitted socks. Warm hand knitted socks. Boy, you guys are just on it tonight. We are tackling fall in FIBSville. Black cat. Of course, we have to have a black cat. Of course, little Bandit. Now, Bandit has to be about 3 years old now. I would imagine Bandit is probably about the age of Aunt Beck's little Coal, who grew up as a stray kitty, but he grew up into an ornery cat, I think. Our little Bandit, I don't think, is as ornery as Aunt Beck's Coal. Cornhole game, Girly says. The cornhole game. I finally learned what the cornhole game was. You'd think I'd know being in a rural area, but cornhole game. Aunt Beck said, okay, I just talked to my sister for over an hour. We needed to catch up. Well, Becky, we've been at the list. fall billboard. Welcome to FIBSville, a fall billboard. Oh, I like that. We have to do more billboards coming into FIBSville. Welcome to FIBSville. Yeah, couldn't you just see it? Maybe Random Org will pick this one. Welcome to FIBSville. Black silhouettes. That's a good one, Becky. Black silhouettes. Yeah. Lori said, did someone already say football at the local high school? No, Lori, of course. That's a good one. Football at FIBSville High. FIBSville High, of course. Now, what do you think? We haven't chosen colors, school colors for FIBSville. Oh, it's not going to be black. Oh, gold. Gold has to, it can't be green. Oh, gold is one of the colors. Oh, we'll have to have another contest. We'll have to let Random Org pick because I chose gold for sure. Did someone, that's a good one, Lori. She says, I live close to my high school and hear the announcer. I love it. Yeah, that is a good one. Aunt Beck said, Bernadette, it's ready to go to bed, but Howie's in her crate. Howie, get out of Bernadette's bed. Sunflowers, of course, sunflowers. Beautiful fall flowers. Sunflowers. Teresa said, there's an airmail box in Shelby County here. It's so far up in the air, it's on regulation flagpole. Oh, that's funny. So what are you saying? Put an airmail box on a flagpole? Oh, Teresa, that's funny. We have a small town named Shelby, Montana, Teresa. I haven't been. Teresa, I think are you in Tennessee? In Kentucky, they had a Shelby, was it Shelbyville? If you go east of Louisville, probably about 30 miles or so, you'd come to Shelbyville. I think it was called Shelbyville. And they had this wonderful little antique store that I used to love to go to. And I found this beautiful scrapbook. And I bought it, but it's up in Madison. I still have it. It's in Madison someplace. That's what I remember about Shelbyville. Mice with hats and coats on. Mice with hats and coats on. Now, somebody has an imagination, Angie. Somebody's dressing all those little mice in hats and coats. Of course, they have to get dressed up for fall. Clothes hanging on the clothesline. Speaking of fields of golden stubble, how about the big tractors hay in the field? Yeah, big tractors. Now Lori's talking. She's talking farmland, big tractors, hay in the field, harvesting going on, crop dust behind. It is a beautiful sight. Corn pickers too. And they have all those, now they have all those big semis out there. They go up and down the fields with their corn pickers. And they'll load, you know, they'll when they come to the end of the row, they have that little chute of grain thing out there, and it shoots all the corn down into the bed of the truck. Oh dear, rural farmland. Let's see, what did Brenda say? Oh yeah, it is neat, yeah. Darla says, 2 children with a lemonade stand with bottles of water and Tootsie Roll Pops. Okay, we're going to put that. 2 kids with a lemonade stand. That's more of a summer thing to me, but maybe they're selling fall treats with bottles of water. And Tootsie Roll Pops. Gotta make that money. They're earning school clothes. Yellow butterflies. Yeah, I start seeing around here a lot more insects getting ready for the winter. I notice some more in the fall. You know, I was showing that monarch flying around out here. I hear the crickets, and I hear those, they're not katydids, and they're not those, they go buzz, buzz, you know, but they're not an irritating sound. They're almost a calming hum. I love to hear those. I think they're tree frogs. They're not those acacia bugs. They're not those. They're tree frogs. I love to hear those in the fall or in late summer. I hear them. And what else do I hear in the late? Oh, the crickets. You hear the crickets chirping. You hear those in the late summer too. The crickets chirping. Red sky sunsets. Red sky sunsets. Hi, Ann-Lar. There's Ann-Lar. Maybe they had pajama day for Spirit Week. Oh, we're talking about those. That could be, Allie K. I was talking about that kid walking to school, and I thought he had a winter coat on, and I looked closer, and he had a robe on. He probably had school clothes on underneath. But Allie K, they could have had a pajama day at school. That's true. They might have. He didn't think anything of it, you know. He didn't feel out of place. He was just walking down the street just with his friends. Spice donuts. Spice donuts. Yummy. And Mary is making a list of things you would see around FIBSville in the autumn. Actually, this was Ann-Lar's suggestion. And we're doing our fall FIBSville list. And of course, you probably are way ahead of me and already figured that out. Angie says, let's see. Lori says, yum, Becky, those donuts are of any kind are so yummy. Angie said, Mary, here where I live, sometimes they have pajama parties at school. See, we never had that, so that's true. They could be. I looked at it and I thought, that kid still has his robe on. What do? Jump out of bed and go to school? But that's true. Maybe they did have a pajama day. I'm sorry. My apologies a year later or a year and 10 months later to that kid who walked by my street. I giggled at him. Let's see. They're saying hello to Janet and Lori. Oh, and Riri says, my daughter had pajama days from elementary school through high school. Wow. And Mary Lou says, my grandson's school has pajama day where everyone wears their PJs to school. Well, Mary, there you go. Mary's out of touch with pajama day at school. Bushel baskets of potatoes dug up from the fields and gardens. Yes, bushel baskets of potatoes. You see, we never had a pajama day. We missed out. So I would not have known. I thought that kid was being silly. He was actually going to pajama day at school. Oh, that's it. You guys, I stand corrected. Dug from fields and gardens. Now, every time I think of that kid, I'll think of pajama day. They're saying hello out there. Zucchini bread. Zucchini bread. Our zucchini is all done, but my brother sure did enjoy the zucchini bread this year. I got tired of making it. I'm going to make some nut bread now. How about black walnuts on the lawn? Black walnuts under the tree. I got to get out there and see what's there. Black walnuts under the tree. That's one of the things I see. I found some out there and I put them in a pile, but for all I know, the squirrels got them. I haven't been out there for a while. Hi, Lynette Porter out there at 8:48. So that's probably about 20 minutes ago. I see you out there. I'm way behind you guys because I'm writing down. Scarecrows, Ann says. Scarecrows? She means scarecrows. I've got 2 or 3 scarecrows on here. Snickerdoodles. Snickerdoodles, of course. Snickerdoodles are a cookie. Of course. Please oh, thank you, Janet. Lovely sunsets. We'll put that down. Lovely sunsets. And you can see those in the city as well as in the rural areas. Aunt Beck says, for any of you slow stitchers, DMC has some lovely free charts to cross stitch. So there you go, DMC. Yeah. Thank you, Becky. Mina says, before I retired, I sometimes see a university student going to morning classes wearing their fussy bedroom slippers. It always makes me laugh. Oh, dear, Mina. Janet says, now I want to bake a loaf of snickerdoodle bread or muffins. Oh, I thought of snickerdoodle cookies. But you can have bread or muffins if you want. Warm, comfy clothing, warm blankets. Warm, comfy clothing and blankets. We are at 100. All right. I don't know where you guys are, but wherever you are, stop and let me catch up to you. And then we'll stop because we're at 100 now. We can probably go all night here. I don't know how far I am behind. Bushels of apples. Bushels of apples. Angie says, hello, ladies that just came into chat. Angie says, riding horse that you put a penny in the ride. All right. Riding horse that you put a penny in the ride. We'll put that there. Maybe it's a fall day out and the mother is looking at the displays outside and her kid's bored, so she puts it on that little horse and puts a penny in there, and the horse just goes up and down, gallops away, trots away with the kid on it. A penny that you put in a penny to ride. So I could kind of see that as a fall store sidewalk scene. November men grow beards. Prostate cancer awareness. Well, we already touched the bearded men. I'm going to put bearded November men. I didn't know they did that. My brother, Anna's probably listening to me tell about the bushy beard my brother has. A lot of men, I think because of COVID, because the barbers stopped trimming the beards, he could still get his hair cut, but one barber let him take off his mask, and I think that's when he had the barber that he went to for 20 years or so, but that barber retired, and he had to find a new barber, and I don't think he's completely comfortable with the new barber yet. And the new barber would not trim his beard for him because of COVID. Okay, bearded November men. Cancer. I don't mind writing prostate awareness. Cancer, prostate cancer awareness. So you might see a lot of bearded men in November. Like Hemingway, Anne said. No shave November, Anne. No shave November. I'm not going to tell my brother about that. He doesn't shave now anyway. He lets his beard grow. But I just call him lazy. He's too lazy to keep it shaved. Honestly. And I say that out of teasing. I say that. I love my brother. I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing him. No shave November. I did not know that was a thing. Lori says, we have a month here at the hospital where I work that it's shaved facial hair month. Not sure if it's a real thing. Is that in November? Where the November is a shaved facial hair month? Huh. Well, one grows all the hair and the other one shaves it all off. What can I say? I think I want my brother to live in Montana. Oh, we did talk about the troll in FIBSville. Okay, Mina. See, Mina, you must have made a list about all those characters, because we made a list of FIBSville characters. And we were going back and telling their stories and everything, weren't we, Mina? Because we had the barber, and Mina made up a really cute ghost story. And I think that is posted in FIBSville, right, Mina? Mina's ghost story. About this time of the year, you wrote that ghost story about the barber who died in the barber shop ghost. Snickerdoodle bread sounds amazing, Glory says. My brother has 2 more weeks down in Louisville, Louisiana, and has decided not to shave. Angie says she needs food, a tumble-dried troll. Squirrels gathering nuts. Squirrels. We got a troll, and squirrels gathering nuts. That's a good one. I'm going to stop here pretty soon. You guys stop. If you guys don't stop by 125, I'm done. Let's see. Oh, Becky, I'm so glad you had a good call with your sister. That is so nice. Renee says she volunteers to be a kid in FIBSville. Ah, we accept your volunteerism, Renee. You can be our FIBSville kid. And if the COPPA police come, we'll say, she's not a real kid. We can prove it. Look at her birth certificate. She's just fooling us. And we'll cover for you. Teresa says, the leather breeches are called that, but they're green beans strung up and drying in the windows. Really, Teresa? Where did I write about the leather breeches? Here. I didn't know that. Leather breeches are just called that. They are green beans. Oh, that's interesting. They are green beans strung up and drying in the windows. See, I thought of cowboy chaps. When you think of leather breeches, I was thinking of cowboy chaps with the fringes and the little metal grommets on them. Strung up and drying in the windows. Thank you for telling us about that. I learned so much from you guys. I just love doing these lists with you. Except we're going to quit when we reach 125 if we get that far. Because I'm getting tired. Owls in the moonlight. Of course, how can we forget the owls in the moonlight? Aunt Beck said Cole is a jerk. I loved little Cole when he was a kitten. He was so feisty because he was just a little cat, and those big cats would come and he would, you leave me alone. But now he grew up to be a big old jerky cat, huh? Aw, poor little Cole. 12 pounds and loves to cuddle. Bandit weighs 12. Bandit. Yeah, Bandit has to be 3 years old. Mina says Bandit weighs 12 pounds and loves to cuddle. Bandit was a little black stray kitten that we found in our TheMeriAtelier building. Probably about the second story, I think. Wasn't it? I have to go back and review the story, but I think things disappeared. Was that how we found it? I can't remember how we found that cat. I'm going to have to go back and review my own story. We're talking about the children with the lemonade stand and sell bottles of water and Tootsie Roll Pops. Hoot owls in the tree. Okay, we'll put hoot owls in the tree. Hoot owls in the trees, Teresa says. Aunt Beck said, ugh, if we have kids, that means we have to have teenagers. How are we going to have fall football games if we don't have teenagers? Teenagers are just people trying to grow up. Right? Brenda says she loves Tootsie Roll Pops. Maroon. Maroon. We got to have the color maroon in FIBSville. Yes. Maroon, is that the gold and maroon for our FIBSville colors? Gold and maroon. Shall we make that our official FIBSville colors? All right. Gold and maroon, FIBSville colors. I'm writing it down. Thank you, Darla. I'm the mayor of FIBSville, and I declare on this day, September 17th, 2021, FIBSville's colors are gold. FIBSville colors are officially by executive order gold and maroon. And you can make it any color of maroon that you want. You can have it more on the red side or more on the blue side, more on a bricky side. I see a blue-red for my maroon. I think I bought a maroon. Do I have that out here? Yes, I do, right here. Oh, burgundy. It's burgundy, but this kind of reminds me of maroon. And I could see gold with that. See, like there's almost a gold cap here. Gold and maroon. Yes, ma'am. Those are nice fall colors, too. Aunt Beck said, my school colors were gold and green. Our school colors were green and white. No gold. FIBSville Marching Band. Yes, FIBSville Marching Band. Got to have a marching band. I can almost hear them marching down the street on a autumn afternoon. Oh, Lori said gold and royal blue. You're too late, Lori. I already made an executive order. Gold and royal blue. They're both saying gold. And Sherry says purple and gold. And Teresa says blue and gold. And Darla says maroon and gold. And Mary, Darla, we're safe. I'm the mayor. Oh, it's funny. Aunt Beck said, I promise to be a good kid for the most part. Thank you, Becky. We need good kids. Teresa said, Alabama, Mary. Oh, was it Alabama? Was that who beat Nebraska? I'm not sure what Teresa's telling me about Alabama. See, I'm so far behind in the conversation. Oh, you're not in Tennessee. You're in Alabama. Okay, Teresa, I got it. I got it. Shelby, Alabama. Mary, I'm in Tennessee, Angie says. Okay. Okay, I'm so far behind the conversation. So Teresa's in Alabama and Angie's in Tennessee. And Angie lives pretty close to our Arlene, the way I understand it. Becky, same with my children. They went to my rival's high school. What did Carol say that they're laughing? Did she? I miss Carol's. I miss Renee. Oh, she says, Aunt Beck. Oh, Aunt Beck, I promise to be a good kid. Because Renee is our FIBSville teenager. She's promising Aunt Beck to be a good kid. It wasn't Aunt Beck who was going to be the good kid. I read that wrong. Apple Harvest Festival. Apple Harvest Festival. All right, we're on 108. If we're not done by 125, I'm stopping because I'm on my third page of writing here. I'm only going to number to 125. 108, 109, 110, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. We don't have to get there. If we're there, I'm going to stop. But if you stop before, that's fine. I'm getting tired of writing. Crickets chirping. Yes, the crickets are chirping. Crickets chirping. What else? Snow shovels slithering out of their winter homes. Snow shovels. It's just like, psst, we better get ready for winter. We'll go out and we'll sneak up on them just in case it snows. Because they're slithering out of their winter home. I bought some bulbs the other day at Menards. Out bulbs. Slithering out of their winter homes. I forget what they're called. They're out in the back porch. They're not tulips or daffodils or anything like that. They're starts with an A. I can't wait to plant them. You plant them in the fall. I'm going to put fall bulb, like flower bulb planting. Now up here in the north part, we put our gardens to bed. We let them rest. My brother, the gardens are done for the most part. We pull the corn stalks down. We cut down the peonies. We go out there and cut down all the stray trees that are growing. And we'll rake the yard, of course. How about sacks of leaves? I bought, this is a funny one on me. I go to the Dollar Tree a lot. I go to Dollar General. And I was at the dollar aisle in Dollar General. And I saw 2 boxes and they were kind of attached together. And I'm going, oh, you get 2 for 1. It was in the dollar aisle. Well, it was $1 each box. And I thought, well, that's okay too. Just go ahead and get them. And I took them home. They were trash bags, leaves for leaves. They were like 40-gallon bags. And I brought them home pretty proud of myself that, I'm getting the jump on getting ready for fall. I was mentioning to my brother, I said, did you see those trash bags that I bought? And he said, yeah. I said, well, I only got them. Each box only cost me $1. I got them on the dollar off aisle. And he said, you only got 2 bags in each box. It's both of those bags that cost me 50 cents a bag. I think that's kind of expensive for a leaf bag, 50 cents. I don't know. I think you could probably get a better deal with that at Menards. Sacks of raked leaves. R-A-K-E. This is my thing. Put our garden to bed. Sacks of raked leaves. Yeah. You know, rakes out in the yard. Woven baskets. Who said that? Woven baskets. That's a good one. Woven baskets. Red berries on bushes. Red berries on bushes. Boy, we've got fall. We've got it nailed. Attracting cardinals and goldfinches. I'm getting tired of writing. You can see it in my handwriting. Orange glowing skies. We'll put that down there. We have the red ones. We've got to have the orange ones. Orange glowing skies. How about rainy days? You see a lot of fall rain. We had a rainy day this morning. Rainy days. I'm going to put that for me. Woolen blankets on porch chairs. That's a good one. Woolen blankets on porch chairs. Whew. Pecan pie, Sharon. Yes, we got the pecan pie. Got to have some good old yummy pecan pie. Renee said, Renee is our teenager, our FIBSville teenager, and she says, "Ooh, Sharon." Teresa said, "I remember Sadie Hawkins and the Sadie Hawkins dance." Sadie Hawkins. They had a day, didn't they? Yeah, Sadie Hawkins Day. I don't remember exactly what that was all about, but I do remember that. Oh, I think I remember it more with my older brother and sister than for my memory, and dance. You know, high school dances, homecoming, queen and king, all of that. Acorns, Violet says. We might have acorns, but I'm going to write it down again in case I forgot. Janet says, I'm hungry. Making s'mores over a campfire. S'mores over a campfire, of course. Over a campfire. And chili night, soup night. We would have soup nights. I'm going to put soup suppers. Soup suppers in our small town. We mostly had chili. But they'd have these big old chicken noodle soup, big old bowls of chicken noodle soup, and big old bowls of chili with crackers. And I think we had milk. I don't think we sold pop. I don't remember what we had to drink. We might have had Coke in the bottles back then. I just don't remember what we had to drink. I think when I remember going through the lunch line in our little school, we would go, we'd have the hallway, and you'd go down the steps this way to the front door, and then you'd turn and go down some steps this way, kind of, and the gymnasium would be kind of over in here. But the lunchroom, after you come down that little flight of steps, you would turn this way. The girls' locker room was here, and then over here was the school lunchroom. We had a really good school cook in our small town. And I met her granddaughter or her great-granddaughter coming back here from Madison. I met I think it was her great-granddaughter, because she was talking about her grandmother. And I'm going, I think I think it was her great-grandmother. It could have been her grandmother, but I do think it was her great-grandmother. She said she was a really good cook. And I said, I think she was our school cook. And we had chili soup with cinnamon rolls. We loved them. And our school was small, so we didn't have a lunchroom. Our gymnasium, which was here, the lunchroom was there. So for lunch, around 11:30 or so, now consider this is a small school, around 11 or 11:30, they would start putting up the tables, library tables in the gymnasium for lunch. And then, well, of course, the kindergartens went home for lunch. They didn't stay for lunch, but, the primary grades would eat first, and then the secondary, and then the junior high, and then the high school. Of course, now our school was so small that they closed it down my freshman year, and I went to a larger small school. But and they had a lunchroom. And I'm trying to remember that lunchroom. It's funny. I can remember the lunchroom. I can remember the lunchroom in that small school, but I can't remember the lunchroom in that bigger small school. Where was their lunchroom? It had to be, I do not remember. I remember the music room. I remember the stage and the gymnasium and the girls' bathroom and the girls' locker room, but I forgot where that lunchroom was in that larger school. Isn't that something? Where was that lunchroom? And it's so funny because my brother's step-grandson just graduated last year from the high school that I went to. And I was telling him about my memories of that high school, because I just went my sophomore, junior, and senior year to that high school. They closed our little school down. Well, they closed it, but they consolidated it because it was so small. They said we needed more education than what, but we didn't get that much more. I never got any foreign language in high school. I might have gotten chemistry. But other than that, shorthand maybe. Shorthand and chemistry, it was probably the only added benefit to going to that larger school. And more competition, you have to consider, I came from a really small environment, 28 kids, from going from a small class of 5 to a big class of 28 was frightful for me. There's 28 kids in my class. That's 5 times as big as my class now. Then when I graduated from high school, from 28, I went down to the university, and I don't know how many freshmen were there. Freshman classes tend to be a lot larger. They tend to, freshman year, kind of, all the kids try college out their freshman year, and if they don't make it, they drop out, and go their way, choose their own paths. But I went from that small high school when my class was 28 students to a really large university, not really knowing what I was getting into, because I just didn't have the direction that I needed from people who'd been there. They probably thought I would be one that would go and drop out. They probably thought, she won't make it. Well, I just about didn't make it. I made it through. Well, I made it clear to my senior year, and I quit my senior year short of 8 hours from getting my BFA, but I quit very deliberately. I quit to go and pick up a legal assistant program that I was really interested in. And then from there, I'm talking about, I'm all off track, but I'm down a bunny trail. But then from that legal assistant program, I went on and got some computer training, and that's how I got into programming. I took some extra classes, and then I started working from companies. And at that time, the companies were really looking for people. I mean, there were all these big ads in the paper in the 80s and 90s. They were looking for programmers. Now you don't see those ads anymore. You have to go through employment agencies, and I hate it now. All right, soup suppers. Soup suppers got me all off on that because of the gymnasium. Making s'mores over a campfire. Roasting chestnuts. Roasting. We got one more after roasting chestnuts. And there'll probably be some more that I'll put on here. Roasting chestnuts. But you guys can stop any minute now. Roasting chestnuts in the fireplace. Kind of got my second wind now that I went down the rabbit trail with my memories. Uncle mowing leaves with the lawnmower. Hi, Cheryl. So mulching leaves with lawnmower. Uncle. I've got to put uncle. Uncle mulching leaves with lawnmower. That's a good picture. I think we're going to have to rake our leaves this year. We didn't rake them last year, I don't think. I can't remember if we raked last. One year we didn't rake. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. High school bonfire. High school bonfire. We had those. We'd usually have them on a Friday night, ball game night. Becky, Ruth says, I'm stitching one now. A free DMC bumblebee. There you go. What's flannel pie? Cheryl says flannel pie. I don't know what flannel pie is. It sounds like it might be like a caramel pie. Flannel pie. Aunt Beck, I'm stitching on a tea bag, Teresa says, to catch up with Lisa and Tanya. And you guys, what am I missing? Stitching on a tea bag. That sounds interesting. Angie says, Mary, I have to write Keisha back. I'll be right back. Okay, Angie, I'm sure you're back now. That was at 9:13. That was a half hour ago. I'm just catching up. Roasted chestnuts on street corners. Roasted chestnuts. See, this is probably in town, which is interesting. On street corners. Becky says, stop! Thank you, Becky. I think Becky ended it. Thank you, Becky. We ended it at 128. Good work, you guys. Thank you, Becky, for yelling stop. They're saying hello back to Angie. Cheryl said she came in late. Now I can just kind of go down. Angie says, I'm trying to kill a fly. And Glory says, good luck, Angie. Good luck, Angie. Those flies are tough to get. Teresa says, I'm from Alabama. I got that. I had to think about it. Sherry says, blue and gold are the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Well, we're going to be gold and maroon. I think that's what Darla meant. Yeah, and Angie says she lives 20 minutes from Arlene. See how far behind I am? Oops, I just about put somebody in timeout there. Cheryl says, I will have popcorn tomorrow, Mina, when Amazon delivers it. Did somebody say candy apples? They said caramel apples, Sherry. So candy and caramel apples are about the same. Amaryllis bulbs. Mina, these are not amaryllis. They might be oh, I should have brought those in. I've never seen them before. It starts with an A, but it's not amaryllis. I almost want to run out in the back porch and get them. Band playing in the park. I see a large pot of hot chocolate simmering over an oven fire. Let's line up, ladies. I'll bring the whipped cream. I can see Janet. I can just see Janet spraying whipped cream, ready whip in each one of those little mugs of coffee. You get some and psh, 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 psh. Yummy, yummy. Lori says, pick me a pomegranate. I'm first in line. Marshmallows, please. Oh, pick me. Oh, see, I'm reading this wrong. Lori says, pick me, pomegranate. I can't get used to Lori calling Janet pomegranate. I always think she's saying, pick me a pomegranate. She's saying, pick me pomegranate. Sadie Hawkins, the girls got to ask the boys to dance. Oh, yeah. See, I think that was more my older brother and sister probably did that. I don't think our when I got to high school, we really had a Sadie Hawkins dance or day. That was more the small school that they closed down because they consolidated into other schools. But both my older brother and sister graduated from that school that they consolidated. And that school still stands. Somebody bought that school and converted it into a home. But I drove by there. Well, we drove down by there, my brother and I, when we went to take pictures of the Memorial Day. We were far enough down there that we drove by that town where my brother went to high school there, and I went to my freshman year there. And it looked like whoever was living in that schoolhouse was no longer living there. It was all grown up. They bricked in some of the windows. They cut down some of the evergreen trees. It was really kind of looking sad. If I were rich, if I won that $457 million lottery, I might consider buying a schoolhouse. That one if I could, but probably not for sale. And having it all redone, and really having it done, having professional, it would cost me probably $1.5 million just to have it redone. But if you win 457 million, $1.5 million is chicken feed. But it would consider this, if you do something like that, and if you're paying people to rebuild it for you, you are paying their wages, so you're kind of helping out the economy. And of course, at my age, I'd have to have a gardener and probably somebody to help me keep the halls clean. And I could probably cook it myself. I'd have my own art studio, probably in the gymnasium. It was they called our gymnasium a cracker box gymnasium because it was really small compared to the larger gyms that were in the larger schools. And of course now, when you're young, you see things bigger. When you go back and look at it now, it probably is a cracker box. It was big enough for a volleyball court. They played volleyball and they played basketball there, but the gymnasium, the bleachers were built right up to the gymnasium. It was kind of interesting because the gymnasium was sunken, and to get into the bleachers, you either had to go around, well, for the ones on this side, you actually had to go outside of the building and come in this way. And they were gray, glossy painted gray wooden bleachers. And I can't tell you how much I hated those bleachers because my coach, and I do have this against talking about teachers. I wish I could say he was a good teacher. He was real popular with the popular kids because he let them play all the time. I was not a sporty kid. I hated PE because all I did was sit on those gray bleachers. I didn't have a book. I didn't have a pen and paper. He at least could have put me on a walking program, and not as punishment, but as to keep me active. I sat there, and those kids would play volleyball, not just for an hour. They played all afternoon. They'd have boys, I think they had the girls' PE first from like 1 to 3. And then the boys would have their basketball from 3 to 5, their basketball practices from 3 to 5 or something like that. I can't remember it all. But, I sat there. I was so bored. I hated it. I'm using hate very loosely. I didn't hate him, but it was not a happy time for me. I wish, if he wasn't going to let me play, he could have at least helped me be active, or I don't say not doing calisthenics. I didn't want to do calisthenics, but I could have had a walking program where I walked 1,000 steps a day, improved it. Or I could have had a sketchbook and a pencil and a piece of paper. I didn't even have that. I sat there and envied all the kids who could spike the volleyball. I hate those days were hard for me. It was hard sit on the bleachers, on the sidelines. And I really do think that affected my personality going through high school. Not that I was sad, but I was I wouldn't call myself a loner, but I was just a very quiet person. I wasn't popular with all the kids. I had some friends. And when I got to the university, I made more friends. I fit in more because it was easier to find friends. And I kind of found myself as I grew through the university and through going out and working in the workplace. But I found my voice. I have to say this. I found my voice, like I'm able to sit here and talk nonstop for hours at a time. I found my voice over the internet. I found my voice by live streaming and by writing videos and producing videos. That has helped me so much get through and over my introvert. Introvert people are not shy. They're a different personality. They're a quiet personality. There's a difference. Anyway, let's read more chat. Isn't it the girls asked the boys to the Sadie Hawkins dance? Ours was in the fall, but no king and queen. Oh, we had king and queen homecoming. We didn't have Sadie Hawkins. I remember the homecoming. Our assembly hall also served as our lunch area. Folding chairs in the morning and long tables and benches at noon. Yeah. Mary, that was a long time ago, sweet friend. Yes, it was, Cheryl. It really was a long time ago. A lot of life has gone by since then. I'm a whole different person now. And I'm a happy person. I wouldn't trade any of my past. And those were hard days for me. But let me tell you, if I could go back and change those days and be a popular kid, be one that was well-liked, who got to play, maybe I could have been a star volleyball player. Let's just change it around. I might have gotten in a car and with some kids that were drinking and been killed. Who knows what can happen? And some of those kids did. They didn't make it through their freshman year of college. Or I could have been one of the really pretty girls. My roommate in college was a beauty. She was a beauty. I mean, she was pretty. She was just a pretty girl. And all the boys wanted to date her. And she was my roommate. And she would beg me. We had the intercom in the dorms. She would, Mary, tell him I'm not here. Tell him I'm not here. They would say, her name. They'd call her name over the intercom. You have a call. And she's, Mary, tell him I'm not here. She's not here right now. And then boys would give her gifts. I remember one guy gave her this beautiful sweater. It must have cost him a fortune. She threw it out the window. We were only on second floor. She threw it out the window. She didn't ask for it, but he was wanting to date her so bad. He bought her this beautiful, expensive sweater. She didn't want it. She threw it out the window. She couldn't give it to Goodwill. She didn't even think about giving it to a roommate. I probably would have had to wear it underneath of my dress, but I mean underneath of my winter coat so he wouldn't see it. But she threw it out the window right in the courtyard. Well, it wasn't the courtyard, it was the... And you know, now I think they're talking about tearing down those dorms. Those dorms where I went to my freshman year of college. I think they're talking about tearing them down. And that was, you know, that was in the late 60s. Those buildings are what, 40, 50, 60 years old. They've got to be. But I don't know. We live in 100-year-old buildings. I mean, our office buildings, some of them date back to 1898. I don't know. They should remodel them, but they're talking about tearing some of them down. Mary sitting in the park sketching. Mary is asking for us to stop. Stop, ladies, Janet's saying. Yeah, autumn, you know, it is true, though. I did start my urban sketching in October. Yeah, I'm not going to write it down. Flannel pajamas. And we had flannel. I wrote down flannel pie. Flannel pajamas. I wondered what flannel pie was. I think it was supposed to be PJs, and where did I write that down? I questioned it. I never heard of flannel pie. I thought maybe it was like made with brown sugar or something. I don't know where I wrote it. Cider, popcorn. Where's the flannel pie? Do you remember what number it was? Is it on the front page? You guys got me talking about my... Autumn does call up a lot of school memories. I don't see it. Quilts, gnomes, leather, candy, warm, black, corn, fall, black, football, sun, mice, clothes, big, two, yellow, red, spice, bushel, zucchini, black, snickerdoodles, lovely, warm, bearded, squirrels, hoot owls, maroon, apple harvest, pecan pie, flannel pie. It was the second to last one. It's supposed to be flannel pajamas. PJs, I think she meant. Did I see the J as an I? All right, let me go down to the very end here. I'm going to skip some chat and come down to the bottom. You see flannel PJs? I saw flannel pie because I was reading fast. I got it as number 127. Sharon said number 24. I have number 24 as candles in the in the window. You might have said it as 24. I got hay rides, candles in the window, Indian corn, lamppost, flag, scarecrow. I have as 125. That's okay. I got it. Flannel PJs. I probably looked at that real fast and saw the I and not the J. Sharon the jokester. Okay, so what time is it? Oh, it's 10 o'clock. The very last thing I'm going to do, we spent almost the whole night on this because I was going to paint the owls. It's getting late, but I'm going to stay maybe another half hour or so. I'm going to do a quick drawing or sketch, and you know what? I found it's good thing to clean your craft room every now and then. I found the super tips that Aunt Beck gave me. So we're going to do a sketch, a quick sketch. I'm going to pick, with using random org, 1 through 128. And in my, maybe I'll just do it in here, just as a part of Society of Idea Collectors. This is the art part of it. I don't know what Dee Dee, did she give a weekly idea last week? I didn't hear one from her, but I wasn't there the whole time. And then we're going to kind of sketch it in with these wonderful, I thought I lost these, I have to tell you. We're going to sketch it in with these wonderful super tips that Becky sent me. Bless her heart. All right, so 1 through 128, and whatever random org chooses, I'm going to try to do a piece of art. So let me go out here. Oh, you know what? And I unplugged my, I'm going to have to plug this back in pretty soon. It is at, oh, it's at 80%. I'm good. Let's go out to my browser, Firefox. I like Firefox because you can put your links in collections. So let's, after it gets out there, let's go to a new page. See, I was looking at African women here when I was sketching those African women. Come on. It takes a minute. And let's go to, I want a new tab. A new tab. I'm going to my collection and I'm going to take random org sequence generator. And this is doing the, this is an old one I have out there. Let's do a go back. And 1 through 128. And we're going to see what it wants me to sketch. And let's go to, where's my go here? I always get, oh, I have to do the get sequence. Get sequence. Number 29. Let's see what number 29. Number 29 is dogs with sweaters on. Dogs with sweaters on. So we should be able to find something like that in Unsplash. This will be fun. This will be a fun little sketch. And I could do it here, but I think I'm going to do it right here. This is going to be the art sketch from our list. So let's go from here. Let's just go to Unsplash. UNSPLASH.com. And let's search with dogs with sweaters on. Come on, bring up my dogs with, maybe we'll find a fall one. Sweaters on. This is kind of fun. I enjoy doing this. Oh, yeah. Let's see what it brings up. It's bringing up something. Oh, look, and there's one. There's, oh, they're cute. Oh, my. That's my, oh, look at this one. He has, the scarf is choking me. Oh, look at that Siberian Husky with his, ooh, that's a good one. See what else is here. Aw, they're all cute. A Yuki dog, UKI, Samantha Glades. Let's see what's on here. Oh, oh, I love them. I love those. They got those roll top collars on. They're like, Mom, this thing is choking me. Let's see what else is on. Oh, he's cute. He's got stripes on. I'm in my PJs. I'm in my PJs. He looks like he's got a Christmas tree in the back. He does have fall colors on, though. Maybe that's red, not orange. It all looks orange to me in my tablet. It's got a Christmas tree in the background. Oh, so cute. This one looks like they're at a wedding. One's wearing a tuxedo. One's the bride, I think. One's the groom. He's got blue jeans on. That poor dog has blue jeans on. Oh, there's a cute one. Little small dog with a little teeny sweater on. That's cute. Let's see. I'm still looking. I got to find the best one here. Oh, those aren't dogs. How did you get in here? They go, well, we have no idea. There's a dog. Oh, he's got a hoodie on. Yes. I'm protected if it rains. Aw. Okay, we'll find a dog with a sweater. This one's kind of cute here. I kind of like this one. Let's bring him up. He's kind of a cute little dog. He's got a blue and orange. Whoops. I got you guys. This is a young Chihuahua dog in a knitted sweater laying down on tree roots at springtime. Well, we'll pretend this is tree roots at fall. We'll ignore the springtime. Why is he wearing... Well, I guess you could wear a knitted sweater if it's still a cool spring. He looks like he's in the fall, though, with his coloring. So let's save this. Save to new board. I don't want to save it to a board. Let's save the image. Save image. And this was done by... I'm going to give this person credit if I can find it. You can buy it. Is this? Who did this one? Is this a stock photo? No, this is Unsplash. No, I think that's an iStock photo. I don't think I want to do that because it's iStock, but it says it's on. Now, I'm going to choose a different one because I don't want to get out of Unsplash. Let's choose. He's a good one. Let's choose one of these others, though. This one is cute. Little white dog with a little orange sweater on. This one was, let's save this one. Let's save this image. Where? Save image. This was done by, who did this? Honest Pause, I guess. Honest Pause. Let's click on that and see if they did any others. Sometimes they show others that they do. And get a dog outdoors, women with dog, dog with sweater, dog images and pictures, small dog, related photos. Let's see, maybe I can find something else in here. Cute little dogs here. I don't really see any other. I think I'll stick with that one because I do like it. So let me go back. It'll be a quick sketch. And I'm not going to sketch the lady. I'm just going to sketch the dog. And it's a white dog. So let me go to my camera. I think I saved it off in the downloads. Right here. And I'm not going to do that other one that I like. I like it, but I'm worried about it being an iStock photo and not being in a free one to use. So we're going to do this little one right here. And I'm going to do a real quick sketch. He's a white dog. But I think I'm going to save that to my drive. Can I share that to my drive? Because I don't like that. I haven't figured out how to get... come on. I want to go to my drive. It shows up better in my drive than on my... I don't like this tablet with all those... Where's my drive? Maps. Mail. Here it is. Save to drive. And in the folder, we want to go to dogs. And I'm just going to do, select the destination, and I'm going to put in, well, I want to leave all that because that'll help me identify it. I'm going to put dog from, I might put it all in, go back. Dog from, who's that? Unsplash. And then, gosh, I am so bad. Dog from, Unsplash, just to help me know what I did. And I'm going out to the dog folder, and I'm done, and I'm going to hit save. And so let's go back out to my drive. I do this because I don't like the picture gallery on this tablet. It bothers me. It puts that strip of pictures down below. So we want to go to dogs. I got all these albums out here. Cats, Cheryl prompts, doodles, dogs. I should have dog from Unsplash right there. Okay, and I can see here, I can zoom in it a lot easier without having that crap down there. So I'm going to ignore the lady's hands. Well, I'm going to have to put her hands in there because he'll be in a weird position if I don't put her hands in there. Let's get my... I'm going to do a quick sketch here. He's white, so he's going to be a line drawing. And it's 10:13. I want to be done with this by, at least by 11, but I should be done way before that. So, and I'm just going to leave, I'm not going to zoom in or anything. What you see is what I'm doing. So I'm going to start with his ear over here on his left side, and it's white. And he's kind of all furry. He's kind of a furry little fella. Kind of like that. And he's got some area in here between his ear and this is kind of his cheek area. And he's got an eye, a really dark eye area in here. A little dark eye, but he's got a little hair coming down in his eye. And you can kind of see, if I expand in there and get really close in, you can see just a little spark of gray in there for he's alive. And look at his eye area. Look at that dark area coming in underneath of his eye. And he kind of like a human. He's got, but you know, dog eyes, animal eyes are a lot more round than human eyes. Animal eyes are a lot more round. When you paint sometimes, and I know I did those on those foxes. I did a whole bunch of foxes, and they all had human eyes. Human eyes are more oval. Animal eyes are a lot more round than human eyes. Okay, now I don't know if you guys can see this very well. Even his hair, if you look at this picture real close, you can see little shades in there where the hair is furry. He's got a little fur on his face and on his head. Of course, he's a dog. Of course I have fur. So one eye is here, but actually I think his ear might be a little bigger now that I put that eye in there. I think his ear might be, honestly, a little bit bigger than what I have it here. So let's expand the size of his ear. And I'm up for that. We'll just make it bigger. Can't make it in any further, but we can make it a little more like that. A little shading going on in here. A little shading going on in here. A little bit coming in, just a little bit in there. Okay, now his head comes up. You know, and he is a little dog. He's not a big dog. He's got another eye over here, probably over a little bit more further, and you just see a little bit of it. You just see a little bit of this eye in there. And then he's got this nose that you see mostly because of the fur on his face. Around in here, you know, he's got a little nosy, little cheeky area in here. And his nose comes, he's got fur that kind of comes down this way. And his nose is right in here. And it's dark in here. And he's got a little nostril here. A little nostril there. And he's got, this is all dark. This is all dark. You know, his nose is dark. Something like that. And a little mouth area coming down here. Like that. And then he's got a little, you know, just a little fur around his mouth. And little fur's coming out here with his cheek. And then he's got his chin coming down in here. He's got a little chin area. Little beardy area in here. And this is where his sweater starts. Right in here. He's got a knit sweater on. But let's do this cheek first over here, because he's got a little cheeky area over here. His nose could be a little bit more defined there. And his other ear comes in over here. Comes this way. Kind of, his hair kind of comes out that way and kind of like that. Kind of a little scruffy over here. And you can't see much because he's a white dog. Now he's got this, his mouth is there, but then he's got some shadow going on in here because he's wearing that sweater. So there's a little bit of shadow going on right in there. And then it starts with the knitted portions of the sweater. It's got one row that's kind of hidden underneath of his neck area there, and then it kind of expands out there. And then he's got the next row of his collar that kind of comes down this way, and it starts, it's a knit sweater, so you see the knit and pearls of the sweater on him. And it kind of curves and goes like this. And it's kind of a rusty color, and we'll come back with that. Right now, I'm just going to kind of sketch it. And then the sweater is not done because, look at that. Well, you guys aren't seeing it. I'm sketching right in here. And I'm ready to do this part of his sweater where his paw starts to reach out over her hand. She's holding on to him. He's just a little fella. So this part of the sweater is where, you know, his little arm is covered with, and the knit of his sweater kind of rows a different way, like this. The little knit and pearls of his sweater, there's little valleys in there. And I could sit here all night and draw each one in detail, but I'd be bored. I'm kind of happy with how that sketch is coming out. Okay, now over on this side of his head, he's got that sweater here that kind of ends, and then it kind of bulks out here. Because his other paw, right here, his other paw is reaching out this way, the way she's holding him. She's got, you know, he's just a little dog, She's almost holding him with the palm of her hand. He's not a big dog. And I don't know if I'm going to draw her hand. I may just stop with the sweater and the paws. I'm going to draw his paw kind of coming out this way. And of course, it's all furry. We'll just kind of put some little marks in there for the fur. And you can't even see where he's probably, well, I don't know. If he were a cat, I'd say he'd be declawed, but I don't know if he's had any work done on his toes. I don't know. I'm not a dog person. You guys can tell me if they work on the dog's paws and cut their toenails. I think they do trim the toenails. So he's probably had, if he hasn't had his toenails trimmed, he probably has had the hair around it trimmed. He just looks like he's been groomed. Okay, so this comes here, and then there's another hill and valley with his sweater coming down this way, knitting the purl coming down this way. And this is actually the bottom of the sweater. It kind of comes down and around, and her hand starts right in here, and I'm not going to put her hand in there. I'm just going to do his other paw. This sweater comes out, and it fades. You can't see all the hills and valley. It starts fading away in here. You can see it real plain. The hills and valleys of the knit and purl show up pretty good on this side of him, but the way the light hits it on this photo, it starts fading out. You don't see it as distinct. But his little paw over here reaches out like that, and of course her hand is coming up in here. And I'm not going to sketch that in, but I do want to catch his little paw. I want to catch his little paw here. And actually he's got a little, his little bottom comes down this way and down that way. Now I could maybe, because if you look at this, here's the end of his paw right here, and right there his little back leg starts in there. And I could probably put a hint of that being in there, something like, but I'm not sure I want to do that. I think I want to concentrate on his sweater being orange. And I'm going to imagine that the hand is not there, and I'm just going to imagine that this is all the knit area, and his little paw, I want to get this, expand this a little. His little paw here is what I want to work on, because the sweater comes this way, and then it kind of comes out that way, and his little paw kind of comes out like something like that, but it's all nice and furry, and it's got some shading going on in here. I think I'm happy with just getting that as a sketch. Now I'm going to come in here with some, let me go back over here. He's going to have more knit going on in here so I can see what's more knit and purl going on in here. Little hill and valley. And over in here too, because this sweater, here's his paw. The sweater actually comes down here, kind of comes down this way and goes around his paw, because that's kind of like his arm. His little foot is covered in this sweater, kind of coming like that. I don't really have it yet though. Hill and valley, something like that. And just for fun, I'm going to expand this a little bit more to make him a little taller here. And bring this down just a little bit more. And it's got a white line in there. Like that. I think I'll stop there. But you can imagine that this lady is holding him with this hand. Like this. She's holding him just about like this. And his little paw here goes over her hand. And her hand her fingers reach under his paw. Her hand, see his paw goes over her hand, and then her fingers come there and kind of goes down around his tummy and under his other paw. But what I want to concentrate here is the orange of his sweater. And what time is it? It's 10:25, so we might get this done in the next few minutes. I don't want to be on all night. Let's look for an orangey color. Maybe a gold, and we need an orangey color. It's really a gold sweater when you stop and look at it. It's kind of a gold sweater. Let's look for more. The thing about these that I find really fascinating is no two colors in this set are the same. They made a point of that. Now that's pink. I keep pulling pink thinking it's yellow or orange, and it's not. It's pink, and I have to be careful that. This might be more of a brown, so I want a gold. Is this pinky too? That might be a pink. I get fooled by these caps. I want to call that I think that's a darker pink. I think my golds are down here. Let's try these. That might be too bright. I need more of a brighter, well, I don't know. Is that pink too? I have to test it. It has to swatch it. Let me swatch. Let me swatch here. No, that's a pink. See that these these caps on here fool me. I'll be thinking I have a red or a peach, and it turns out to be pink. Let's try this color. I want a gold, and an orangey gold is what I want. This is an orangey color. So if I mix that with this, well, that's more of a brownish tan. And I think this is more of a light tan. So I need another goldy color. I think my golds are down at the bottom. I got yellows and tans and grays and yellows and pinks. Gold is a hard color to find, let me tell you. I think that's more of a tan. That might be a goldish color. It looks more like a yellow, dark yellow to me. I don't see a gold in there. Let's try that one. Might be the pink again. Was my brown. I love all these colors, but I have to find a gold. There's got to be a gold in here. They wouldn't give me a box of colors without putting a gold. There's a fleshy tone. Browns and grays and greens and pinks and reds and green again. I'm looking for gold. I'm digging for gold. Well, I'll tell you. This one might do it. Let's try that one. This one's hard to tell. I'm going to have to swatch those. That's all I see in here. I see a light peak tannish color, but which one of those is gold? Mary wants to know. I see a lot of light tans. This one might be a gold. This one might be a yellowish color. This is orange. I don't see a true gold. Maybe they don't make that in super tips. Oh, all my pins are falling. Let me pick them up, or I'll lose them. I have more trouble finding my color. I'm looking for gold. Let's swatch some of these. let's swatch these here and see what I have. Let's swatch them down here below. Oh, now see, it looks pink. That's pink. When I hold that, it looks orange to me, but when I swatch it, it has to be pink. It might be an orange. Looks more pink to me than orange. And this is probably pink too. Well, no, this is a tannish color. Now see, I did not think this would be a light tan. But when you look at it, okay, that's a light tan. What is this? This might be my color right here. Right there. Wouldn't think it, but it might be. I think I have the right set of colors in my hands. I need a brownish color though too. This is more flesh. Don't do that one. Let's try. That gets to be pink again. Let's try one of these. These are pink. These are not what I want, although this one might fool me. Now it's more flesh. This one might be the right color. Here, we'll go with those. Yeah, I might want a darker brown. For this sweater, his sweater is a goldish. His sweater, if you look at it, is a kind of a gold, a gold color. And these are the ones I'm going to go with. Right there. But it's just a sketch. It's just having fun with a dog in a sweater in FIBSville. So we're going to start out, I think, with this color. Let's see what this is. So this is the lighter color, and it's got lighter colors coming along at the top of the heels on a knit, which would be probably the knits. You think of knit and purl. And this is the knit, and the pearls are the valleys, and the knits are the mountains, if you want to look at it that way. And so you can just kind of put some colors in there. Now it kind of lighter there, and then it goes dark again. And then he's got a white stripe down here and some colors in there. All right, now we want to go to where's that darker orange? I said you wouldn't think it. Is this it? Yeah. So kind of come in here and put some darker orange in here. Maybe even in there. And we'll go in with some browns in here too. Some darker oranges kind of coming down this way. Because this is, if you look at it, you could see this was the arm hole of the sweater. Is this his arm? And he's kind of got a little cuff in there. Like that. All right, now we're going to go with the darker brown color and kind of put in some shadows in here. On the sweater, which is doing the sweater. So, and then in the valleys, in the purl areas of the sweater, when you wear a knit sweater, you got knit and pearls. And in the purl areas are kind of like mountains and valleys. And the pearls are the valleys. And they're going to be in the darker areas of the knit, kind of just accenting it, making it look like a knit, sort of like that. And maybe in here coming down this way and then coming down like this. And then over here, maybe some areas in here and areas in here. And there's actually white, which could be defined with the pen. Some white stripes in there. Kind of in like that. And there's really is there a white stripe over here? No, her finger covers all that up. So I think I'm pretty happy with that. And then let's put a little gray on his nose. And what kind of an eye? Probably, his eyes are probably kind of like a little darky color. I wouldn't call them blue. They're probably a little dark brown, but I don't know if I have that. Let's see what I have for gray. What did I want to do for gray? His nose. That's a blue. Kind of a bluish. We don't want a blue nose. My dog with the blue nose. Kind of a little gray and black area going on here. A little gray. Some little grays around his eyes. Just a little, not much. Just a little and a little under his eye here. Not much, Mary. And let's contrast his little gray touches in here just to let us know he has some fur. And maybe over here on his other ear. And what's under this ear? This ear actually comes down a little more. And maybe some gray coming around his neckline and his cheekbone in here. Because that's what defines this little area in here. It's just a little gray area. Now his nose is going to be a little blacker. Let's see if I can get a black. Well, I can use the black off of my felt pen. Let's go to my felt. Although I don't want it soaking through too bad. Let's see if I've got a black in here. Do I have a black, Becky? Did they send me a black? Yes, they did. Is this a black? That's a purple. I think that's black. Only this is black. No, that's a dark purple. Or is that black? It's hard, so hard for me to tell. Let's swatch it. And by the color of the cap, I see black, and then I'll turn it in the light, and it'll look like a dark purple. Maybe it's a Payne's gray. Let's see. Let's swatch these. One time I see a dark gray, and the other time I see purple. And then I see black. That's a dark blue. That's a dark blue. And this is another dark blue. Those are not black. That makes me think it's black, but it's a dark blue. Let's see if I can find a black. I might end up using my pen. Is this black? That looks black. You need to swatch these, because sometimes the cap color can mislead you. This is a black. I've gotten misled with these markers several times. I hate to say. That's the one disadvantage. The caps don't always match the... Let's see. How am I going to do this? I don't want a big nose, but I do want a shapely nose. I think that's... And he's going to have a... Where's my pen? He's going to have some little hair come. I got to be careful in here because I don't want to get that nose too big. And he's got a little mouth area and just a little bit of a mouth there. And he's got a little bit more fur in here that I don't want to. And maybe some little gray hairs shading his eyebrows in here. So you can see he actually has a forehead. And kind of shape it up a little in here, just so you know he's got a head. He's got a head. And then down here on his chin area, he's got little hairs coming down, little. Actually, he's got a little switch of hair coming this way around his lip, and it kind of curves down that way. And without studying this dog forever, he's got a little switchy cheek, hairy cheek there, which helps form his nose area coming kind of up this way. Kind of like that. I think I better quit before I mess him up too much. He's got a little more shading in there, though. A little more shapely shading in there. All right, I think I'm kind of happy, but you know what? That says to me it needs... And I keep seeing pink with this. I keep seeing a dark pink. I want an orange. And every time I pull these colors, I see pink. It might be my eye. I see pink, not orange. I see pink there, and that looks orange to me. What's this one? Let's try this one. That's a little more orangey. I want a little more of a reddish orange in here. And there's a little bit more dark area in here, and there's dark in here where because that's how you see that this is a cuff, a sleeve. So there's dark area in the background here, and it makes this area here stand out, and there's a little darkness coming in here where it curves back in. And then over here, kind of the same way, it kind of falls into the background. I think I'm going to quit. Did I say that once? Now I could do the background. If I did the background, I think I would want to do it in kind of a bluish color. Maybe that one. I think that's green. I'm exploring these super tips while we're using them. Let's see what I have here. I love all these colors. And I could swish them, but I don't think they're numbered. Like, I don't think these super tips... I've got my hands full. Let me look at this one I have. Hold it. Let me put these back. I don't think they're numbered here. They just say Crayola Super Tips. And they don't tell you the color. You guess it like, this is green. This is a dark green. But sometimes looking at the cap is not the same as what you think you're going to get on the ink. And I think I'll leave it just like this. This is my little sketch. I think I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. This is my little sketch of the little dog in FIBSville with the sweater on, the fall sweater. I think he's a good sketch. I really do. I think we did good here. Put a little dark area in here underneath of this. Actually goes in a little bit more too in there, and I got this in the way, kind of in there a little more, and it could come down that way a little bit more too in here, just to make it look a little bit more dimensional with the shading. I could play with this all night, but I need to quit at some point. And do I have all the super tips in the box? I think I do. So it is 10:45. Let me sign this, and I actually want to write what this is. Let me close up the box. Now, that little dog does not look exactly like the photo, but this is a FIBSville dog. He doesn't have to look like any other dog in the world. He's a FIBSville dog. So let me write on this. Let me sign it. Shall we name him? This is number 29 off of our list. I'm going to put my tablet back over here and plug it in. Because I have no idea what you guys are saying while I'm doing this. I'm not in chat. I hope I have a mod watching the chat for me. Now, if I looked at this and compared it to the photo, the dog in the photo has more of a tilt to his head. I can see this now. The dog in the photo has a little bit more of a tilt to his head. This is not a bad picture. It's a good sketch, but I could sketch this again and sketch this. I can see right away he needs a little bit more of a tilt to his head than I have here. But I think I did okay as far as September. As far as doing a quick sketch, matching colors, just playing basically. September 17th, 2021. And let's just number 29 off of our list. That's one reason we do lists, is to get ideas from lists, is dogs with sweaters on. So I'm going to put number 29, FIBSville fall list. FIBSville fall list. Sketch. Number 29, dog. Well, this is dogs, but I'm going to put dog with sweater on. So fun to do. Now, we could expand this like Dee Dee does. Why is this little dog wearing this sweater? Who owns this little dog? Who does this little dog own? Why is he wearing a sweater? Where is he at? Where does he live in FIBSville? You know, you could do all the how. How does he get this sweater on every day? Does he put it on himself? Does he like this little sweater? And why or why not does he like it? Why is he wearing a gold sweater? This is supposed to be a dark gold. I don't really have a gold super tip. Because we need to put some maroon in there. He needs to wear maroon and gold, or the FIBSville colors. So, you know, you can just go on and on and on and make up a little story about these little animals, this little dog, just from our list here. That's a Dee Dee thing. Make a list, pick something off of the list, or pick something off of this list and that list. Like, we could pick a little dog with a sweater on off of this list, pick a number over here, off of the house type. What house type? Let's look at number 29. And here, if he lives in, he'd live in the old woman's shoe. So we could have number 29 off of the house type happens to be the old woman's shoe, which I thought was really cute. We could put this little dog as living in the old woman's shoe. So that says to me, does the old woman own him, or does one of the old woman's kids, she had so many kids, she didn't know what to do. What did she do with a dog, too? You can just go on and on and on with this stuff. I had fun tonight. I didn't get my owl done. I'm going to have this as my thumbnail. Let me come out and look at chat. It's getting late. I don't want to be any later than 10 o'clock. I have no idea who's in chat. Oh, hello, everybody. Oh, there's Jude. she owns the dog. Who owns the dog? Let me see. Jude says she owns the dog. Thank you, Sylvia. Uh-oh. Popo says, uh-oh. What are you saying uh-oh for? Thanks, Riri. Good night, night. That's adorable, Jude. He's a detective dog sniffing out FIBSville criminals. Yes, Jude. Okay, we're going to write that down. He doesn't have a name. What is his name? Let's name him real quick. Somebody give me a good name for our, let's see. Let me write, get the pen out. He's the, what did Jude say? He's a detective dog. He is a detective dog. I like this, Jude. A detective dog. Uh-oh, maybe he teamed up with Bandit. Maybe he has something to do with finding that soggy billfold. Because, you know, cats really don't like going in the water. He could have gone and rescued that billfold. So maybe he has something to do. We'll have to work him into our mystery story. Let's see. He's a detective dog sniffing out FIBSville criminals. Sniffing out FIBSville criminals. Skippy? Sherlock. Sherlock. I love it, Sherlock. Okay, his name is Sherlock. Thank you, guys. I do like that, Sherlock. His name is Sherlock. He needs a collar. He says, I ain't wearing no collar, but he needs a collar that says Sherlock here. We'll have to give him a nameplate. I like the other names too, but Sherlock Watson. Yeah, I like Watson too. Does he work with Officer Orville? I'll bet he does. So we could say works with Officer Orville. Works with. Oh, and is Mina here? Did Mina go to bed? Mina, you go to bed too early. Officer Orville. Or give him a badge. Okay, he needs a badge. Wait, I got it. Orville. I got to write all this down. He needs a badge. He needs a badge. Okay, I'm not going to do it tonight, but I do like that, a badge. Or a policeman cap. We can do both of that. Watson is coming up because there's a problem brewing. Well, we've got Sherlock. I've already named him Sherlock. I like Watson, but I like Sherlock too. We got Scrappy and Snowball. I like Snowball. Let's see. Let me go back and chat. Sylvia says, are you going to share pics in our group? I generally just put this as a thumbnail. I might put it on my Instagram or on my community tab. I could put it in the group. I don't know. He's kind of a cute dog, but you know, I stare at him too much. I stare at him too much, and I got to walk away from him because I see all my flaws on here. I look at him and I see all the flaws. I want so much to redo him. I want to sketch him again. And usually when I do sketch, it takes me 2 or 3 times when I'm sketching off of a photo before I feel like I've captured the animal. You know, I don't feel, I think he's a dog and he's a cute dog. I'll give him that. I like the sweater. I like the orange sweater on him. But he's not Sherlock yet. I want to sketch him again. My inclination is I want the tilt of that head a little. I don't quite have the tilt of the head, you know, the angle of the head where it's actually tilted this way. It's almost at a 45-degree angle. But we're going to leave it like this. We're going to be happy with what I have because I've got other things to do. Darla says, thanks, Mary and everyone, for keeping me company while I stitched. I'm nearly done with my first fabric journal. I just need to stitch the signatures into the cover, which I'll finish tomorrow. Darla, if you're still out there, that is fabulous. Oh, thank you, Sylvia. Thank you. And listen, Ann Lar says Stanley. I've already I voted for Sherlock. I like Sherlock. You know, if I did Sherlock, I could give him a Sherlock Holmes. Didn't he wear that kind of a beanie hat? A Sherlock Holmes cap? Looks something like this. Yeah. Let's give him a Sherlock Holmes cap. We could do a couple other pictures with a Sherlock Holmes. Oops. Get them in room. You need to separate them by color like Dee Dee does with her pencil. Well, the thing of it is, the problem of it is that, like with my oranges, sometimes I pull what I think is an orange cap, but once I swipe it, it looks pink to me. So it's in that tone, you know, pink is a light red and orange is a red with yellow. So it's in that tone. These are all... But here's the thing, Cheryl. If I sorted them like Dee Dee does, they would never stay sorted. I can't think. You know, I'm just not that. I don't want to say anal. Anal's not the right word. But let's say I'm more sloppy. I'm more sloppy than that when I work. I just can't put things back where they belong. I put my pinks with my blues and my blues with my pinks, and maybe he just needed a bigger ear there. Quit it, Mary. Put that pen down. Leave him alone. Oh, let's see what else is in here. What am I missing? Allie Kay was here. Did I say hello? Gilly was here. Hi, Gilly, if you're out there listening. Jude came in. Sylvia, Jill, Colors 2 is here. Gilly's Art, Allie Kay. Lori was here. Hottie Popo says, lucky that she's not reading chat. Uh-oh. Popo, do I need to read your chat a little closer? Allie Kay says, you're so bad, Susan. Uh-oh. He's quite... What did Susan say? Popo is laughing. You know, Susan hit the nail on the head. Popo, what did you say? Hello, lady, she said. Oh, dear. What did you say, Popo? Did she erase it? They had gold markers at the garage sale you missed today. That's funny, Popo. They probably did. That was calling my name. Gold marker colors. If that's all you said, it wasn't bad. I was expecting something a lot worse than you missed it at the garage sale. Susan, Cheryl said, my daughter's texting me at the same time. Have a restful night. Good night. Janet said good night. 10:26. So she said good night about a half an hour ago. Jude says, you gave your baby the best, Lori. Hold on. Oh, I still have Lori's Paint. Was it Paint Girly or Lori Montana that you're talking to? Our remaining dog still looks for her. It's Paint Girly. Let's see what Paint Girly is saying. Valerie was here. She said, I always miss Valerie. Valerie Critcherly, I always miss her coming in. So Valerie, if you're out there still listening, welcome, welcome. I always miss saying hello to you. Where does Mary go for her photos? It's Unsplash. I got this. I should put reference photo at reference photo. Cheryl, if you're out there listening, my reference photo came from, I don't always go there, but this one came from unsplash.com. And if you read the about information, these photos are I don't want to say they're public domain, but they're free for artists to use as reference photos. It's nice if you credit the artist. I try to look for, if you look back in my chat, you'll see where I scrolled down and I kept scrolling and I found a photo of a dog that I really liked. But Unsplash sometimes will go and show photos from iStock.com. And I'm a little bit leery about pulling photos off of iStock because I don't know too much from them. I want to know that my photo is directly from Unsplash. So I'm a little bit leery. That's why I sketched this dog and not that other one. So it's unsplash.com. But I also pull pictures from Pixabay. I didn't go out there tonight, but I will also go out and check Pixabay and see what they have as far as photos. Let's see, what else in here? Angie says, Mary, I need to go. I think we're pretty much done chatting here. And it's 1 after 11. Let me go down to the bottom. Mina says she's still here. Good. What was I going to tell you? I don't remember what I was going to tell you, Mina. I guess I wanted, Mina, this little Sherlock dog, we decided that he's a perfect, Jude said this, he's a detective dog. He's for sniffing out FIBSville criminals. I wanted to be sure that you got that. His name is Sherlock, and he works with Officer Orville. Nina will put this in her FIBSville reference folder in her head. And 6 months from now, I'll say, what was the name of that dog? And Mina will come out and say, it was Sherlock, and he works with Officer Orville. And Nina, I also wanted to ask you if you were here the other night when I did this, because you were kind of tired that night. I was doing the history of the FIBSville Victorian bed and breakfast that I was doing for Time for Art, where I was doing that hotel lobby. But I was talking about the Victorian bed and breakfast in FIBSville and kind of giving the history. The location is in FIBSville. It's in a park area of a lake. It has a swimming dock. Let's see, it has a canoe and a boathouse. But the Victorian bed and breakfast that was a former resident of Judge Benjamin Cook. So this is a new FIBSville character. I don't know if you heard all that, Mina, the other night. That would have been September the 10th, the Friday night of, was it September? Let's see, this is September 7th. Yeah, it would have been the 10th. And this would have been one of my last videos when I talked about this. But he lived from 1885 to 1928. He had 3 boys and 3 girls and his wife. The current owner of the FIBSville Victorian bed and breakfast is, and I have to figure out this yet, whether it's his great-great-great-grandson or just his grandson. I haven't figured out how many greats to go back yet, because he lived in 1885. And I was thinking, if every 20 years, if they had a child, you know, you get married young in those days at age 20, which was probably getting pretty old in those days, because usually a lady who did not get married until she was 25 or 26 was considered a spinster back then. So back then, I'm thinking that they probably got married and started having their kids around age 20. So I start counting up every 20 years for the next child to come along. And of course, it's always the first child. But anyway, his wife, Judge Benjamin Cook, built the house. And his wife's name was Lillian. Lily, and which was short for Lillian. And she's the great whatever grandmother of Destiny, our FIBSville character. And let's see. His son's names, Benjamin Cook, our Judge Benjamin Cook's son's name was Benjamin the First. Orville. Yeah, Orville is related to him. Orville is a grandson of Judge Benjamin, down the line through the family tree. Orville, our Officer Orville, is related to Judge Benjamin Cook. So he has a great grandfather named, our Officer Orville has a great, how many greats you go back, Orville, which is the son of Judge Benjamin Cook. And his other son's name is Peter. He had 3 daughters, Helene, Elizabeth, and Katrina. And that's as far as I got in telling the history of the FIBSville. But you know, we could take this information and really tell some interesting stories here about Judge Benjamin Cook. Wouldn't that be fun? And his wife Lillian, how they fell in love, or even how they grew up, how they got to FIBSville. You know, you could almost, you could go on and on and on about it. You didn't hear it. Yeah. It's probably, well, let's see. We did the list, Mina, that night. We did the list, or I went over the list. We did let's see, this is a list of rooms. Did we do this list? I didn't date this list. I thought we did a list of interactive elements. I think we did this on the 10th. Because I think this was a group list. You guys gave me ideas. I think this was a group list. And then I had this own list of rooms I did myself. I can't remember that far back. But in the chat itself, it probably would have been toward the middle or toward the end. I was still working. Friday night, my phone died on me. It ran out of juice. I didn't have it plugged in up there. So it kind of cut off while I was working on the elevator. So let me go back to our little dog here in FIBSville. Now I like him. Just turning the pages and coming back, I like him. So this little dog's name is Sherlock. He's our little detective. He works with Officer Orville. He needs a badge and a badge and a police cap. So there we go. Maybe Officer Orville put that sweater on him. I wonder. All right. So I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. It is getting late. I don't want to be on here all night. What did Dan say? Paint Girly is streaming tomorrow. Oh, thank you. What time, Paint Girly? She gives the channel. What time are you streaming tomorrow, Lori? Thanks, Anne. I'm planning to have, oh, I see, Frida, Icy Crafts from Norway. 1 p.m. Eastern. I saw that. Okay. I'd like to meet her. Icy, Frida from Norway. Lori is going to have her on as a guest on her channel tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. So that'll give me the incentive not to go to the 350-mile junk jaunt, because I don't need any more junk jaunts. I need to finish cleaning my studio. So have a good night, everybody. Have a great weekend. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Beth Schuler is on. And I did buy a felting needle. I don't know if, I know Cheryl said felt. Beth felted a pumpkin. I don't know if she's working on felting. I've kind of lost touch with everything that Beth is doing, simply because I just don't have time to watch everything. I barely get Dee Dee watched, and I like to watch Becky. I like to watch Becky, Tanya and Lisa, and I do like to watch Beth. Those are my main ones, and Dee Dee and Barb Owens when she comes on. And everybody else that comes on, I love watching, but it's when I can. I'm trying to watch more of Janet Nash on Monday mornings now. I just wish I had more time in my life, and I'm sure you guys all know. Tomorrow night is bingo night. Okay. Yeah, Cheryl is a mod for Beth. So if you want to know anything about Beth, Cheryl and Beth's streams, you can probably get with Cheryl and she'll fill you in. So I do have to do my laundry sometime. Oh, and there's dishes to do and bills to pay, and you know, there's life. Everybody has a life. So, but thank you for coming. And thank you for the really good chat tonight. I just love when we do lists. So have a great weekend, and I will see you again Sunday night. Oh, let's talk about Sunday, because Tanya comes on at 1 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. Don't forget that. We don't want to forget Tanya. And I'll come on Sunday night at 6 p.m. and we'll round out the weekend there. Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend. Happy fall.